Live. Hello and welcome everyone to my second episode of All Out with Teng. Okay, so for today we are inviting two of my friends coming to my podcast. Can you all introduce yourself? Okay. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Ezran. I think that's about it.
And who are you?
Hi everyone, my name is Thirresh.
Okay. Basically, a little bit about my podcast. Since this is the second episode, I'm gonna invite anyone to my podcast to talk about anything. Current situation. Just basically, we're gonna cover a lot of stuff lah in this podcast later on. But for today, we're gonna talk about gender pronouns. Okay. Because nowadays it's kind of a thing where we must be careful of what we are, address other people. How we address other people, we must be careful not to offend them. How not to offend other people. Before we start, I just want to say that whatever we said or share today is based on our experience and information that we got from YouTube or anywhere. So it's not a factual facts. We didn't do the research. We didn't do any research. We just come here because we saw the video and just gonna discuss about it. We do.
But you can be sure. We're gonna put up some very valid arguments.
Okay, yeah. That I won't deny. But yes. So for now, what is gender pronouns? You all know anything about gender pronouns? For me, what I understand is how you address people: they, them, he, she, and then all that kind of stuff. Because for what I read is they themselves but want themselves to be called as those pronouns. Is that am I right?
Yeah, true.
So what
Pronouns are
see.
gender pronouns are a way that you address someone.
Uh-huh.
So when they introduce themselves, they will introduce their name
Mm-hmm.
and their gender pronouns, how they want to be called, and it's normal for nowadays.
It is normal, but I think it's not that.
Yeah, it's not. In Malaysia, yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
normal.
thank
here.
God.
I haven't get that one yet.
So what do you think, Ezran?
I think it's plain ridiculous.
It's pretty
Okay,
ridiculous.
well,
Okay.
Because the word he and she are reflective of gender. You can tell that from gender pronouns, and there's no such thing as gender is non-binary. No, gender is male, female, boy or girl. There is no in between. There is no outside of the boy and girl, because gender is something that is determined biologically. We can tell by appearance. Okay. Most people we can tell their gender just by appearance, and some people will be harder to discern due to some different hormonal balance, okay, and genetic traits. But at the end of the day, if we look up their skirts or pants, we can see either they have a penis or a vagina, and in some cases, Hunsa, they have both.
Yeah.
But even then, they will still have to choose either one, and the best way to choose is seeing how they go through puberty. If they have a period, or if they can ejaculate, like a man, depending on the reproductive system, not just the alat kemaluan.
Ezra, for you to say they have to, right? Later the community will say something like they have to. Is they're forcing them already, so they can use they, them to address themselves.
Okay. Even if they don't want to, nature will prevail itself by choosing either one of those reproductive systems. Dia boleh hasilkan sperm ke dia boleh hasilkan ovum? It's as simple as that. And even if kita tak tengok pada mata kasar je, we do something even more scientific. Kita tengok DNA dia. A girl is XX, a boy is XY. In some cases dia ada pelik-pelik sikit, but in general it's XX or XY. What people are getting confused about, what they are saying is apa tu they say they are a girl in a man's body.
Yeah.
I strongly disagree with that, because I believe that there is something else at play here, and that something else is not binary like gender. It's something that is a spectrum, which is masculinity and femininity. There are a lot of in betweens there. Okay, so I sendiri growing up with a lot of sisters, even though I am without a doubt a boy, a guy, okay. I have some girly traits. Okay.
Let me finish lah. Yeah. Continue.
Okay, continue.
I like to do some chores. You know, a lot of boys don't like to do anything. I like to do nothing too, but I also like to do some things that girls in particular love to, where boys don't. Okay, and everyone is different depending on dia punya genetics and dia punya upbringing. Okay, so this is where there will be a difference, you know, masculinity and femininity, and that one can change day by day, depending on your mood, depending on your surroundings. All of those things factor in, but it does not change whether or not you're a boy or girl. Okay.
So how about you, Thirresh? What do you think of Ezran's opinion?
Well, I strongly disagree with Ezran's point of view.
Okay, why?
Okay, let me start off with the definition lah first.
Okay.
Okay, so is like how Ezran stated, like gender, there's only like two only, right? Like there's male and female, right? Okay, that's where it's wrong actually. It's sex and gender. Sex is what we refer to as when we are biological, when we have a penis or a vagina, or our private parts. So we address them according to sex. While gender is something where it's constructed by totally from the society actually. So that is why people actually fail to see, like, oh, they only thought only got male and female, there's only boy and girl, there's only penis and vagina. So that is not gender actually, that is sex. Gender is something that refers to like socially constructed like characteristics of women and men, where your roles, your relationship between a group of women and men are different, and since society also changes, so it varies a lot there.
Okay. I would like to I guess reiterate and address some of the issues between our points of view. Okay. If you want to go into technicality, yes, gender people claim is socially constructed. However, how is it constructed? How did it come?
How is it, or you mean like how does it, or people address male and female?
How did it arise in the first place?
Because
what was
people
it
have this-
constructed based on? It was all based on our sex, what we were born with.
Okay.
So even if we're going with what you're saying, it's socially constructed. It is constructed based on sex, based on gender. What a lot of people who are for all this gender confusing stuff, okay, they want to change that paradigm, that relationship between the socially constructed and what nature has given us. Now, language in general is not forced in such a way. Language follows culture, and culture follows a lot of other things, and one of the most primary things is nature itself. So if you want to say that gender should not be based on sex, then I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
What do we construct it based on?
It is true that gender before this was based on sex, But that is the misconception that people are trying to change now, because just because I have a penis, but I am also sexually attracted to someone or other than the other sex. So that is where it interferes with the misconceptions that happening with the gender roles and stuff like that. Get it?
Okay, I see where you're going, but if we want to abide by such thinking, it's going to get really convoluted. Why can't we just say that this is a man and they are both gay? Why do we have to say that they have some different gender other than a boy
Male.
or girl?
Mm-hmm. Depending on the individual, actually, if they address themselves as gay, and then they should be like, they will have said that I address this as he and him and stuff like that. It's the part where people are confused mostly is because of the non-binary people, where they don't feel like a male and a female, and that's where the gender fluidly occurs, because one day they might feel like a male and another day they might feel like a female. So that is why they address themselves as the they and them.
How to say? But it's a feel only, right? But it's not like you are not really. Let's say you are male. You are. It's just a feeling only. But outside here, you are male already. You cannot change that one.
Biologically, yeah.
Only. Yeah, biologically yes, but how to say? At the end of the day, yes, psychologically it is not. It doesn't make sense though. But how you are
Doesn't
born
make
as
sense,
a boy,
okay.
but I want.
I'll put it through the psychological part of view, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so in psychology, we don't just see our biological, we also see our social and our brain and our behavior. Our behavior is totally altered by hormones, and so that is how we act upon, right? So some people, biologically as if you have a penis, obviously you're gonna produce testosterone hormones, and if you're having a female, you will produce the female hormones, right? So there is some cases where they do have a penis, but they still have the low testosterone level, where they have like more female hormones. So that is where the behavior starts to change actually.
Yes.
What people don't see is because it's happening from inside, people actually can't see it physically. Well, if you see from outside, obviously now I'm a dude, like something like that, right? But internally, I could be attracted to girl, I could be attracted to guy, it's something like that, the example.
Okay. Now, regardless of what you're attracted to, okay, I fully agree on our behavior depending on the balance, the natural balance of each individual's hormones. Okay, but just because you are a lembut kind of guy doesn't mean you terus ada songsang punya sexual inclinations. And just because you are a masculine kind of guy doesn't mean you tak ada songsang sexual inclinations.
Yeah,
Sebagai
true.
contoh, in ancient Greek, apa tu, they ada for a time in some places where gay sexual relations were quite prominent, and the gay dominant, the one entering, okay, is a very masculine person, whereas the one being entered is assumes a feminine position. But I ask you, does that make the masculine one a guy, and the feminine, the one who assumes the feminine position, a girl?
Well, if they feel you're talking about like the same sex, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just because if the same sex, for example, a male who is feminine, they tend to think that they are the female part, and the masculine male are the dominant male part. Is it? Is that your question?
So
Yeah.
is it okay for the
No, no.
feminine part to call a she?
No,
Is
no,
that what you
yeah, something like that. Like,
to be called a she.
are we right to terus assume?
Yeah.
Because the basis of what a lot of these people are saying is they don't want us to assume.
Yeah.
Okay. But then, if they don't want us to assume, there must be some kind of metric that they would use to gauge themselves as being a boy or a girl or something else or a dinosaur. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay, first I'll break down first that the
so
first part
wait,
that
wait.
you said.
So
Background.
just to make it clear,
Okay.
if they cannot conform to our standards,
Okay.
then do they have any standards themselves that we can use to gauge them?
To be honest, I also don't know. Must ask them. But wait, hear me out first.
This is what we're talking about.
Hear me out
Hear my
first. Okay,
questions.
first I'll answer Ezra's first doubt where there are, some people assume that male has like the feminine features and some women has the masculine features, right? That is actually true, but that is based on their personality actually. In psychology, we learn something called anima, where there is a condition where a male who has feminine features, while the female has masculine features. But that doesn't mean that they are sexually attracted to males and they are sexually attracted to females. So that is totally different. It's up to them to decide. They could be a feminine male. Like for myself, I still consider myself as a feminine male, but doesn't mean that I am sexually attracted to males, right? I am still sexually attracted to females. So it actually depends on how they feel from inside of them. Are they sexually attracted to the same gender or not? Okay, that is the first one. Then your doubt was how we assume them, right? Are they the male or the female, right? Okay.
Yes.
That assumption is totally, to be honest, none of our business because it's their life. It's it's their world. So why do we want to, be busybody and knowing, who is going to be the female part of the relationship and who's going to be the male part?
No. That's not my point. My point is, if the society is not allowed to assume,
Okay.
it is not allowed to use their standards, impose a standard upon these people, then what do these people use to identify themselves as?
Oh, they actually have their own like tribes. They have like they have character lah. Like now we know like in the female we have also like the popular tribe, the nerd tribe, something like that.
Because killing a group of famous people or something like that.
Yeah. A popular, but we based on personalities, right? So the same thing happens in their world. So they have their own tribe. So they will identify themselves as that. If not mistaken, I only know they have twink, start. So that is how they differentiate in their world.
Okay,
why does this
but is there any qualitative or quantitative evidence that on a particular day they say I'm a boy and there is enough evidence, qualitative or quantitative, to show that they are a boy?
The one that I have done
for your question just now, you say something like one day they are boy, the other day they are girl, right? For them who are confused their gender, usually they will call themselves as they and them. We don't really, how to say.
Okay, but even then, keadaan macam mana? Okay, how would they determine if they are neither?
How will they determine?
Yeah, is it just based on mood?
That one we cannot answer because we are not one at all.
That one, I'm not that decided. But I do know there are research because there is a particular, just a degree just for gender itself. So I am positive that confirm there is some kind of research. It's just that I didn't do lah. I baru 1 tahun. Now it's 6 months, so I don't know much. But I am confident that there should have a quantitative or a qualitative research that has stated that their gender. Because if without that, for how many years they've been calling themselves a gender fluid, right? Where they couldn't determine.
It starts from 2016 only.
Yeah. 2016. 2020. Okay. Even though there's in 4.
They started to
so
come
they
out.
confirm there might be some kind of research that has stated.
It's how to say. They make it complicated. Is what I'm gonna say. Like, why? Okay, maybe they want to be acknowledged or something lah. But
yeah, to be acknowledged, that is why they wanted to have this gender pronouns so badly, because what way are we going to support? Like, okay, Taka, you want to say, oh, I support you guys. Like, how are you going to show your support?
No,
It's like
you don't say you guys. That's offensive.
See,
Are you
understand
serious?
this. Understand this. He's a Muslim, so hey, you
I'm
didn't,
sorry,
you didn't
you
watch.
guys address
You
yourself
didn't
as
watch
guys,
last
right?
week. You didn't watch last week's stream. That's why. That's why. That's why you
Why
say something
nothing
like that.
happened?
No, last
Okay,
week we discussed about kids nowadays, and we talk about a lot of stuff. Talk about LGBT also, and he himself doesn't support the idea of LGBT, but he respect those humans. He respect the one that who support it, who do it. Who are gay, lesbian.
I support, okay, not discriminating.
Okay.
Not maksudnya hak dia sebagai manusia nak dapat kerja, nak sewa rumah apa semua tu.
But he just disagree with the fact that they are gay or lesbian. Is that right?
Yes, what they're doing is wrong.
Yes,
but it doesn't mean their whole life is wrong.
Like based on the religion or based on you yourself?
Both.
But based on religion and based on biology, because it is wrong in biology.
Based on religion, I cannot argue much because it's your religion and I respect that. So I don't want to argue, because the religion states like this, I'm not going to like, why can't you just disobey that this law? I cannot tell like that also because that is me actually ruining his design. I'm not going to argue on religion.
Okay.
If you are looking from a different perspective, I will argue from
biology. From biology, then it is
from biological.
Yeah, it is wrong to put your penis, dick inside the asshole. It is wrong. You can get infected.
Yeah, there are a lot of dangers.
Yeah, actually,
if you're talking just about pleasure, there are a lot of things that you can do for pleasure that are far less dangerous, and also there are a lot of things dangerous that you can get pleasure from, but that you just don't do. So why do you want to put yourself in such a situation?
But still, you guys only see the pleasure part.
It is wrong. Also based.
I mean, like you guys are saying, like it's wrong because it's you're not supposed to put your penis in an asshole, right?
Yeah.
But I don't imagine I say that word. Okay. So you think that is wrong, right? But you guys only see the sex part. Don't you guys see the love part? Where they actually love
the love part. The love part. You know what? I only disagree when it comes to.
Okay, I've never been in their shoes. I don't know how they feel, how they think.
How they feel about it.
God forbid I ever go through that situation, because it's a very heavy burden. Okay, but just the thought of it as straight people, I'm sure Teng agrees with me. It's gross.
Okay, this is kind of homophobic already. Okay, it's kind of gross, but I must admit myself, it's kind of gross. But I'm still accept them. I won't discriminate them. I won't disrespect them just because they do what they do. But in my opinion, in my belief, it is wrong to do that.
Okay,
that's it. I still respect them.
All of us are entitled to have opinions.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
All
it's
of
just
us
that
have our
don't go and
opinion.
shout your opinion and say, "This is the only thing."
Yeah. And you must follow me. No. I don't advocate anyone to follow me at all. You know what? Don't follow me at all. It's okay. But I'm just
let's end the live.
Hey,
Don't follow.
I'm just stating my opinion about this. Same goes to gender pronouns. For me, it's very confusing. It's very complicated. Like, let's say, a lot of things happen already in my world, my own world, and then here comes the other fella who wants to be my friend, and then say, "Oh, please address me as he or she." Okay, I'm gonna address him for today or they, them. That's what they prefer. Okay, today I'll address them as that. The next day I might forget about it. Then I call them, "Oh, yo, you, he's the one." I say to other people, "He's the one, she's the one." Then he or she got offended. For me, it's getting complicated. So it's not like I can remember this forever. What?
Yeah, I get it.
They'll tell you to call them they.
Yeah, they, them. Yeah, they, them also. I also.
Yeah, but all of us are humans also. Like, obviously we're gonna make mistake. Even I talking to so I'll tell some kind of mistake.
Yes.
I will randomly accidentally call you. It's normal. Our memories only last because it is in a short term. It is getting complicated. If we're having a short term memory, it wouldn't last more than 3 days.
Yeah.
So
why won't we just use he or she instead
Okay.
Because if they want to have that validation that you actually support. The only reason why the gender pronouns even started is it's a way to like acknowledge their existence as a trans person or a queer person or under the LGBT. They want you to address them because this is
Okay.
not only just about
10 years ago, there was a very obvious way that we acknowledge them. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that-
the only way
shun-
to acknowledge them was by calling them.
We shun them out. We call them names.
Yeah, that's the one. That is what they want to try to
What
see.
they want is not acknowledgement. They want approval.
Isn't it the same?
No.
Okay.
Acknowledge means
we
you
acknowledge them.
names.
Anda
You,
tahu, okay. Approval
yeah.
is
Approval is you terima.
okay.
Now,
So that-
as a society, if we don't want to terima benda yang salah macam ni, what we anggap salah, then it's the prerogative of the society.
Yeah,
You tak boleh apa tu. Lagipun apa argument you nak about gender fluid apa semua ni and gender being a socially constructed concept. Okay, if betul gender is socially constructed and you are going against apa tu society yang memang sedia ada, saying that well, apa yang you're saying is wrong, that your whole premise is wrong. But because you're saying we are wrong to assume you apa tu some gender kan,
Okay.
when you punya own argument is gender is socially constructed.
They are
you,
trying to.
you get where dia tak
You are
ngap.
trying to say that they bertentang with the origin of the society yang sudah menetapkan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say that is wrong, right?
That is wrong because
Okay.
as you say, gender is already socially constructed.
Okay.
So whatever the society deems it to be, it is.
You understand or not?
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. You're trying to say like don't go. They are going against the society that already created, right?
Yeah, by definition.
Okay.
So I don't see much argument there.
Because they're going against. Okay, the only reason why they're going against them because in sociology, cultural and all of the ethnics that we all have, it's all because of people. The society is created by people, right? So the only way to make the society a new society where they acknowledge them is the only way is to crack open this old one and make a new one.
Okay, if they want to make a new one, it's okay. But just
Yeah.
don't.
Okay, was there a
impose-
problem?
Yeah.
Was there a problem with the old one?
Yeah.
With the old one.
What was the extent of the problem that a call for change is needed?
Because
They didn't acknowledge this one. They assume like they're guy or a girl.
they straight away assume we are not assume for us, me and Ezran, for us, we know that you are boy or girl because of your genitals.
Yeah, that's
because
how
of
you do
genitals.
that. I don't worry about that because if they are queer,
Uh-huh.
they will automatically introduce themselves with their pronouns already.
Okay.
So that's where you can okay, this person is, we cannot assume, but the others we can. If they want to be if they don't want to be assumed, they will ordinarily tell you, I am. You can refer to me as a they and a them. So the awal dia akan dah cakap dah. So you don't have to like worry. Oh my God, I'm gonna offend this person and stuff like that.
Because how to say, most of my friends are not gay,
Okay.
or maybe all of them are not gay. Okay, but some of them are confused. But that one I don't want to talk about. But
Okay.
how to say, for most of them are. So this kind of stuff is minority. I consider minority already. So how to say, most of the time people like us will completely forget on. The only problem starts when they start to how to say impose those ideas on us and keep forcing us to call them this. Then how the hell we want to call you that when we ourselves forgets stuff sometimes.
I see Teng's point there.
Yeah.
Because by insisting that the society as a whole
Uh-huh.
apa tu call them what they want to be called,
Yeah.
it's imposing their belief system that they can be either or neither genders, which the society doesn't believe in. Now, kalau benda ni macam racism, okay, memang society dulu terima seadanya, okay, but it's plain wrong. Okay, yang tu I faham. Memang even though society dah terima and it is socially constructed, tapi there is a lot of argument showing that it is wrong. But how does gender apply? Gender and gender pronouns apply here.
In the social, this one is it?
Cuba you compare dengan racism. Like,
Okay.
Racism ada penindasan. Okay.
Betul.
You are depriving people of their human rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
But kalau dalam case gender fluid people apa semua ni, how does that apply?
Okay, why not you assume like, okay, do you know like black people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They also refer to them as the slaves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see from that point of view, they don't want they don't want people to call them as the N word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't want them to like, okay, you call the N word this person since he's just black. Okay, that's the discrimination over there, right?
Because the N word was used as an insult dulu. The slave masters would call niggers
Yes.
out of rasa contempt, rasa macam nak insult. Okay.
Betul.
And-
Now, when we talk to gender fluid people, okay, I've never met one. Thank God. Because I would be, I don't know how I would react. Okay.
I know you'd be very
Once more time, everyone in the comment down section below. Ezran has his own belief. Please respect him. Don't go and bash him.
Oh, we have opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, thank. Tak perlu such disclaimer. Apa
Okay.
tu? But if I were to meet someone and I terus panggil dia he or she based on appearance, okay, I don't mean it as an insult.
Yes,
He or she has never in history
Is an
been
insult.
used as an insult.
Yes. That's why it's different from an N word.
But they feel as insulted. So are you gonna consider their feelings or not? That's the question.
Feelings does not matter if
Okay.
dia tak ada a strong basis. Okay, for example, Thirresh, I puji you for getting high grades and everything, okay, but for some reason you get negative feelings from me. Now, is
Why?
that my problem? If I dengan sincere, I support you as a friend apa semua, but for some reason you rasa troubled by it somehow. You tak suka I.
I mean, if you are telling something good, then kenapa I nak, rasa
But
negative?
some people is like that.
I'm not saying something bad, right?
Yeah,
So with gender fluid people, I am not saying something bad. I'm not saying something offensive. Why do
Okay.
you have to find it offensive?
in that this one, right?
Yes.
It depends on the person. I don't think so. They'll just randomly just attack you just because when you sound positive and you are really giving a compliment or you're saying something really that is supportive and stuff like that, obviously they were not going to be offended by that. Unless you are saying something that is negative, but in your mind you think that is supportive, that might be an issue.
So how is he or she not supportive in any way? Okay, or better yet, offensive? That we should start calling people they.
It'll be easier if you just call their name lah. Actually, to be honest, that's
Yes.
the most easiest.
I think Thirresh is stuck here. Don't know what to say already. That's why he says
No,
call
No,
the
because
name.
I get why Ezran's the frustration where people actually really get insulted. Like if you remember the video that we saw on TikTok,
Yes.
Yeah.
when she actually just accidentally she said she,
Uh-huh.
and then everyone was like, whoa. Right.
Yeah,
Right,
she herself got confused.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
it's totally normal. I'm not saying like, oh, just because of one mistake you're not going to like bash someone. It's not that.
No. What I mean is, she also got confused. So who is she to ask us to learn about all this kind of stuff?
Okay, in her defense,
Ah.
yang slip of the tongue tu, it's not the
Ah.
person yang identify as apa gender fluid or queer tu. Dia
Oh.
dia just standing up for the other person.
Okay.
Actually, she was standing up for her.
Yeah.
Then
But
it's my fault. I didn't watch a video carefully. I didn't watch a video properly. But at the end of the day, it's very confusing for me. And
It's okay to be confused. It's something that we are new, you know. It's something we are new. We're not familiar with. Obviously, we're gonna take
but
time.
there's a lot of things happening in the world.
but-
There's one video that says
But as
they-
long you don't discriminate them, because like even in Malaysia, like
we are
DVD,
not discriminating.
there is actually a real discrimination where even though if you go to hospital, right, the doctors don't treat you just because if you are in the LGBT team, they don't cure you.
Mana
They,
boleh?
find someone. Yeah, that is the what.
They
Yeah.
are violating the Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, that's exactly. So
Okay.
they don't want, as long you don't discriminate them in any of the doing, it's okay. It's
Yeah,
fine. The
macam-
additional they're trying to acknowledge here is that
Yeah.
it's also addresses we are also here, something like that.
I think the bigger issue is where the discrimination started. That's why they all come out as this and that, this and that, this kind of stuff to get approval. Like Ezran said, to get approval by all of us.
But that
Because-
approval, some people think is attention seeking sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
don't get me started on those people.
Yeah, I think
wait.
some opinions.
Okay, wait. There's one comment here from Ahmad Aiman Afiq bin Ghazali. He said there's also people that feel that they are being baby or toddler while they are actually adults and want to call them baby, not like my baby, and it exists. What we're supposed to do? Also relate to pronoun. It is related to pronoun. So like
Are we supposed to conform to such ridiculous notions? Okay,
Okay.
like I said.
Wait, what do
sebelum
you mean by baby?
basically this fella addressed himself as baby. He is a baby, but he's an adult. 20 or 30 years old. I forget. There's one news about
But-
this. Yes, he is an adult. Let me
Yeah,
finish
mockery.
later.
That's supposed to be a
And
mockery or
then
what?
he want to call himself as baby, and
A
this
baby.
is a pronoun thingy also. Now for me, this is ridiculous already.
It's obviously ridiculous because pronoun doesn't have baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
pronoun
and then
technically,
there's people that consider themselves as a cat. You know the news? You saw the
Yeah,
news?
yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is bullshit. This is bullshit.
Yes.
And it's complicating stuff. When this thing of gender pronouns started, okay, people started calling he and she, they them. Then these people then started to think, oh, they can stand for everything. You can advocate this and stuff, this kind of stupid stuff. Then they come up with this, calling themselves as baby, calling themselves as cat, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous.
That is actually exactly a mockery.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly a mockery. Yeah.
And for me, I think if they want to do it right, if they want to do it, they need to do it properly and not include those people also. Those people are just bullshitting.
Okay.
But what was his question?
A lot of people are doing it out of a mockery. Okay. It's purely satirical, but ada yang betul-betul genuine. You know, like people marrying sex dolls, anime characters and everything. They really believe that it is something. So this goes to show just how ridiculous. Okay, kalau macam gender fluid apa semua ni, to me it's ridiculous. But okay, to even gender fluid people, benda-benda macam apa tu identifying as a cat can be ridiculous. Those who actually defend this kind of people yang identify as a cat apa semua are just wusses that they want their own pendapat to be validated, that they would validate something they themselves consider ridiculous. So now my point here I'm trying to make is, kalau kita validate gender fluid apa semua ni, okay, where is the limit?
Where is the limit? The limit should stop for me.
Can I identify myself as a robot, as a spaceship?
Can I identify myself
as a non-living
glasses?
being?
I am glasses. Please call me glasses. Now this is a
Oh, I
mockery.
mean, if they want okay. Now we go one by one. Okay.
Okay, wait.
Gender
Before
pronoun.
that, when I do this, it's a mockery already. So that also should be a mockery also, right?
What's that? Sorry, I don't get it. What's that? What mockery?
What?
Basically, it's mocking the people who want to call themselves as they, them, he, or she. If they doing this ridiculous stuff, like
look
calling
at the
themselves
mic and talk.
Ah.
I cannot hear.
What?
No, you're talking like that. I couldn't hear. What was it?
Gerak depan belakang.
Okay. Basically, what I say is, they themselves want to be called as they, them, he, she lah. Okay, the gender pronouns, the legit gender pronouns. Then there's the one that called cats, freaking cats, and what else? Baby.
Cat, baby.
Those people like last week, Ezran. What we call them? Being entitled. Wanted to being entitled. For what I say.
At some point you're just gonna have to terima the world as it is. You can't have it your way all the time.
Yeah,
No, obviously because gender pronouns, everything is until they, them. There's nothing more than that. Those who are actually like making telling or identify as a baby or identify as a cat, that's either number one is a mockery, or second they really are hallucinating. They really need professional help.
Okay, you see those. If
You can say that they're hallucinating.
Yeah.
We
You are
can say
saying
that
that
the
you
gender
cannot
fluid
say
people
that
are also
hallucinating.
hallucinating.
wait.
No, gender fluid is not a hallucination. It's not a delusion.
Ezra, whatever you said just now, be careful.
No. It's okay. It's okay to be open. I'm not like going to like be all dictate and stuff like that. It's okay. Just be free. The more opinions I get is the better. So I know I can understand people better.
If you want to use research on brain activity, you know how the brain would function like a girl or like a boy punya, regardless of the punya bodily appearance,
Yes.
okay, and biological XXXY chromosomes.
Okay.
I would say that belongs to the spectrum I said awal tadi, masculine and feminine. It doesn't change whatever you punya gender is, because society has constructed gender based on sex. Okay, so there is a way to recognize this difference without having to use having to make a big deal out of language, because let's admit it, we are just making mountains out of molehills.
Yes.
When we argue about he, she, they, because a lot of languages don't even use them. And kalau kita tengok pada zaman ni, tak ada banyak beza pun. Even kita cakap interchangeably between Malay and English, do we discriminate? No.
Sebab Melayu kita kan memang kita dah tetapkan dia, kita, kami. We don't genderize the word.
We don't
right?
have the gender for those words.
But I tanya you, kita punya language dengan English lain kan?
Okay.
How about kita punya culture dari segi gender roles apa semua? Actually, if anything, Melayu, culture Melayu yang tak ada this gender distinction in language lebih divisive dari segi gender roles in society. Betul tak? Kita lebih ramai suri rumah, kita punya workforce kurang conducive to women as opposed to the Western countries, where diorang punya language yang ada he, she, they. Kita punya ada dia, aku, kau.
Betul.
So apa masalahnya kita guna he, she, they, okay, dengan cara konvensional, when we see in other languages yang tak guna gender distinct pronouns, punya attitude towards gender roles lebih I would say conventional lah. I tak nak kata menindas, because to a certain extent dia tak menindas lah. It is just basic distinction, memang common sense.
Yeah, I get it. Because English we already have genderized the words, like she memang is untuk perempuan and he is memang untuk lelaki, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So like if in Malay there's a benefit lah, since Malays we don't generalize the language, we don't genderize them.
Then the whole world should learn Malay then.
Love Malay. Pasrai for life. Okay.
Actually, Malay is one of the easiest language to learn.
Yes, it is. one of the easiest language to learn. If you learn Chinese lah, Thirresh,
Tengok
you know
Cina,
Chinese.
Dia Sarawak dah cakap,
Yeah,
Indian pun dah cakap.
Even I became banana already because of Chinese. I tell you.
apa tu, I learned somewhere. I'm not sure sahih ke tak Teng. So I nak tanya you because you're Chinese.
Okay.
Betul ke bila you nak address someone you, okay, when you're talking to someone, you kena tengok pangkat dia apa semua, and baru you determine the word yang you nak guna to address you.
Yes.
So the Chinese people are so scared and confused of getting it wrong that they prefer to elak gunakan as much as possible. Betul ke? Like instead of you go ambil air, you terus cakap ambil air, something like that.
That one no. We usually call. Because how to say, like you say, we address people different type of you when there's pangkat. The different type of pangkat, and basically if they higher pangkat, there's different type of tone to call it you. Like nin, her ni. Without nin is for people who have pangkat, who you respect, who your elder people, who your boss or anything. And ni is for sebaya, for people who are same age or your friend or anyone. Well, you are comfortable with, you use ni. So there's two types of ni lah. And then there's, when you're writing it down, there's different type of ni also. There's
the formal ni, right?
No, the formal ni. There's girls one, there's girls for girls, and there's boys one. The two types to write it down. But for the speaking, there's only one type of ni. Then they hire for who you respect, a boss, you call nin. That's it lah. And wait, got people, this fellow again, Ahmad Aiman Afiq, he said something.
Yeah, that's my friend.
Okay, they want us to call what they want to as a freedom word term. It doesn't matter what your sexuality or your animus, masculinity or feminine, but don't make it complicated. See, he also agreed that it is making things complicated.
Yeah.
And he's
Okay,
It's obviously going to be complicated. Just imagine you're teaching a 1-year-old kid and suddenly telling them to complicate.
Don't call me a dad, Don't call me a
obviously
dad.
it's going to be complicated. They're not denying the fact that it's going to be complicated. It's just that they want you guys to know, like, they are they
are
exist.
complicated.
No, not. Don't take my words. They do want you guys to acknowledge that. Okay, I am there.
Thirresh. We acknowledge them already. We acknowledge them. We approve that they exist. They are there. So what more do they want, like, from us?
Yeah, they want you to.
If they want to respect,
cannot like this style.
I respect them as a human being. I don't discriminate them. I don't just because you are gay, I will like unfriend you. I will hate you. I will spit on you. No, I won't do that. Okay, bully.
Unless they hit on you, of course.
Wait, they hit on me also. I will respect. Wait. When they hit on me also, I will say, I am straight. I don't prefer to like. I didn't prefer guy as my preference. I prefer girl. I'm straight. And I respectfully decline reject their offer. So I think just like how to call it, not just about just like religion also. You accept, you don't, like Ezran is a Muslim. He think that his religion is right. I'm thinking that my religion is right, but I cannot go to him and tell him that I don't like your religion, you should convert to mine. No, right? We should respect
no one
them
is
also.
telling you to convert also.
We should respect them also. Same goes to the LGBT
So
community.
when someone who,
like we disagree with the idea of it, but we respect them for what they are. That's it. Yeah, you understand or not?
Yeah, I get it. So like, if someone who believes in Islam, you call them Muslim, right?
Yeah.
The same thing who are those are non-binary, they're asking you to call them they them. That's all. Simple.
Okay, I'll call all of them they them. Are they okay with it?
If they are,
they will probably say they as long as you abide by the system, they will be okay with it. Okay, but Thirresh, apa tu macam Teng tadi dia kata his language, depending on pangkat orang yang you cakap dengan tu, you address them different different pronouns. Okay. Tapi yang tu dia ada basis and dia reflect in how you treat those people in society. Macam in Asian cultures, apa tu kita panggil different people different pangkat dengan different panggilan, and we treat them with different reverence, with different apa tu types and amount of respect.
Okay.
But he and she, do we apa tu treat them apa tu differently?
Why do we have to treat them like macam ada pangkat, something like that?
Yeah.
Is that what you're...
No. I tanya with the words yang kita guna sekarang, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Does it come with a different apa tu treatment?
When you call them they, them,
He, she.
he, she. No, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. So, what are they apa tu feeling
Opposed.
offended about? How is getting something other than he or she apa tu approval?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to a girl, do you say he?
No.
No. If you
course
go to a guy, do you say she?
No.
Okay, but these people, they don't identify themselves as male and female. So
Uh,
how are you going to address them? It's like
Male and female okay. You kata sex and gender tadi. Male and female, I want to make it clear. Is it
Okay.
gender or sex?
sex, right?
I think that one should be under sex.
It is under sex lah. Wait.
Under sex.
It is sex.
If you want
Male and female.
direct translation.
Okay,
I
so
think
if we want to say they identify as male or female, then they will be either right or wrong. There is no argument there because sex memang tetap. Okay, because
okay, yeah, I know what to say, unless they
going on.
actually change.
Okay, so if you could rephrase your question.
Rephrase to what?
Your
Apa tu?
questions.
Tadi you kata male female kan. So what would they identify as that apa tu that we would call them they?
I don't get it. Macam mana?
Okay, okay. Bunyi echo lah.
Yeah.
I think it's the birds. Can you hear my voice, right?
I can
Yeah.
hear your voice, but you're echoing.
Okay.
Okay.
Tadi you cakap if we call a girl he, dia offended girl, and then she, a guy she. Okay, so now apa tu? I tanya you
Those
yang you nak sambung tadi male and female. What would I call what?
what would you call them? We call them non-binary.
Yeah. There's non-binary people. They identify as non-binary. You're going straight to gender.
Yeah.
You're not basing it on anything that is
Why? Or you're
appropriate.
gonna base on their private parts? Is this what you're trying to say?
You're gonna have to base it on something.
Yeah.
They already give you the base already. What they want you to address as them as non-binary. You don't see their genitals and
Okay. Apa tu? Let's talk less about genitals.
okay. Weird, right?
It's getting funny now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know,
if you don't
I
talk
tried
about
to hold my
genitals,
laughter
if
back
you don't
then.
if you don't talk about genitals to identify them as male or female, then we wouldn't know what are they, right? Like what okay, we call them as they them. Okay, whatever you
Okay.
call we call them they them. At the end of the day, they are still male or female, right? It's just a psychology thing. Like, okay, I want to ask you this: Is it a disease? Is it a disease? Is it a how to say?
A disease?
A disease. Yeah, a thing or an illness. There you go. An illness.
Okay, mental illness. Is this a mental illness?
Is it a mental illness? Like for
Okay.
think about okay.
I'll break down the history lah. Okay, in DSM-5 is like our psychological bible, where we refer all our diagnosis cases of mental illness all inside that book. So, the first three versions, the first three DSM, they have 1, 2, 3. They do recognize that as mental illness. Then after that, the fifth one, they really don't declare it was a mental illness because it wasn't a mental illness. People thought it was those days mental illness. People will think they kena rasuk. or they are haunted or got some kind of possession spirits and stuff. Like hysteria, people think they're kena raso, right? It's actually not. It's just like a
Okay,
psychological
if it's not
event.
any kind of mental illness, is it some kind of disorder?
Yeah.
It's not a disorder.
That it is normal. Are you saying that it is normal?
It is normal in our psychological in the psychological world. If it's not normal, they actually try to treat it. They had so many type of treatment. None of that works. None of them had even a qualitative. Some of them like they tipu their way. Just like, oh yeah, I changed and that's all.
So
No
basically,
further.
what you are saying is, if they cannot be cured, if they cannot be changed, so it's normal. You call it as
Yeah.
normal.
Mhm.
But it is not normal for people like us because 10 years ago, 20 years ago, this doesn't happen at all. Like
Yeah, because they weren't loud and they weren't like voicing out because it was a taboo topic. We're not gonna talk like in Malaysia.
sex
We don't
education.
talk about
Sex education.
we don't talk about sex, and it's something taboo, right? So those days it was a taboo topic talking about LGBT and stuff. And now people are voicing out and asking for their rights, and they really go to court and really get their human rights and stuff like that. So they are fighting. So you can see actually it has been there. Even for many years or so, it was been there. It's just that none of us actually take the initiative to even care about it. So now we are trying our best.
A lot of stuff happen in the
Okay,
world. So, like it doesn't need not LGBT on it. Like a lot of stuff happen in the world. So like a lot of people also don't care. Like most of the people mind our own business only. Let's be honest lah. Okay, but maybe because the bully cases is rising a lot during that day, or the discrimination, like they literally discriminate those people or punch the hell out of those gay people. Then
Yeah, there is so many cases in Malaysia. Remember, there was like a kid died because a group of kids actually bullied and raped him, and then they murdered him. They stuffed beer bottles in his ass, you know. So it was like quite really bad.
It is bad. So maybe they fight for it. Okay, now they got the rights already. We acknowledge them. We approve that they exist. We respect them, even though our opinions differ.
Yeah, we don't shove beer bottles up their asses.
but even though our opinions differs, we still respect them. So now,
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Sekejap, Thirresh. Can you enlighten me on apa tu how the psychology community would classify something as a mental illness or disorder,
Yeah.
or not, or normal,
But
that
it's
is.
not.
Because from what I understood you kata tadi, if there is no treatment for it,
It's
then it
normal.
is
There is
not.
treatment. It is just like tidak berjaya. It did not work. They tried everything. They thought
Yeah.
it was just a hormonal thing. They even tried to imbalance the hormone. Like a woman has a higher this one in the estrogen, right? So but this girl has higher in testosterone, which make her to I cannot say it's the causal, but it's correlated to what she's sexually attracted to. So she's attracted to female. So this case where the doctor actually imbalanced the hormone. So he reduced the testosterone and increased the estrogen, but it didn't work.
So don't you think it's a psychology thing to think about they are not female or female? Because it's your thinking, right? It's not hormone. It's not being affected by hormone. It's not being affected by any other.
If it's also a mental thing, they also tried CBT, it didn't work. But CBT wasn't until like recent 2000 few. But it didn't work. If it worked, obviously it would have declared as mental illness. There is so many psychiatry, there's so many clinical psychology.
Okay, if
Is it possible, okay, that there is just no treatment that we know of? Okay, macam AIDS, okay, there is no known cure for it, but we recognize it as a disease.
Okay.
Just because there's no cure, kita tak nampak how it can be reversed or eradicated. That it is not a disease. So how kenapa in psychological aspect pula dia ambil that approach that if it can be cured, then it is a problem.
Ezran, maybe it's because AIDS, it's deadly. Basically, if people who get on it, people might die from it. But for these gender pronouns, it doesn't, right? It doesn't really affect other people, right? Maybe that's why it's normal. They call it normal for those people lah. That's what I thought.
No, because if you're going to compare with AIDS, like I
Yeah.
get what you mean. Like even
Yeah.
cancer also doesn't has a cure yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so but we still acknowledge that as an illness, right? That's because we can actually see cells. Those are virus cells. You know, we can actually see the disease and we can acknowledge it. It's just that this we cannot even see. So there is no such there's no like some kind of virus that attack our brain cells and neurons. There's no neurotransmitter that is been a problem there. There's no such thing as that ever happened. So that is why.
But there must be a characteristic somewhere, a neurological characteristic.
Explanation for this, is it?
Yes.
Yang aku tahu setakat ni we don't have that.
We cannot go
The
into.
only reason it will become a disorder could,
Okay. Let's not talk about disorder or illness pun.
Okay.
Mesti ada some neurological differences in these people that would warrant diorang punya insistence on apa tu being called either he, she or they.
Neurological, I'm not sure lah. Hormonal, yes, that one I know because I've read that study before.
Okay.
Neurologically, I am tak pasti.
Now,
If you are not
No.
sure, let's not.
Now,
talk about it.
apa tu kalau setakat hormonal, okay, can it not be that they are he or she based on how they were born, okay, male female, with feminine or masculine traits? Must it tukar diorang punya gender juga?
Kalau they really feel that is who they are, then they will try to attempt to change themselves. But if they think like it doesn't bother if they are in a male body and they still feel like a male, or they are in a female body and they still feel like a male, if they don't want to change anything about it but they're still attracted to females, then it wouldn't interfere.
Okay, kalau dia punya sexual orientation is seperti yang dia born, tapi dia insist that dia tak ada gender, dia they. Itu macam mana pula?
So you're trying to say what do you mean? Like they were born?
They were born a guy,
Okay.
and dia a straight guy,
Yeah.
Okay.
tapi for some arbitrary reason, I say arbitrary because I believe that is what it all is, arbitrary je. Diorang
Okay.
insist that they are they, not he.
So dia rasa dia tu macam bukan lelaki and perempuan. Based on auditory. Based on auditory, is it? Vision.
Auditory.
No.
Auditory ke yang dengar, visionary?
No. Ezra, explain to him again. What do you mean by obituary? The word.
Arbitrary.
arbitrary,
Arbitrary means random. Tak ada any.
Dah guna bahasa Inggeris. Pasir tu aku mana aku tahu.
Okay, explain that.
Okay. So randomly they randomly thought like they are they and them.
They don't want to be called anything other than they. Okay.
Okay.
And does that happen? Straight people with straight people not belonging to LGBT, they just kata
Like straight people are feeling
because you make distinction between gender and male. So now I tanya, ada ke situation where there is a straight male, dia tak ada any inclinations towards the people of same sex pun, tapi dia tak nak dipanggil he. Ada ke?
I don't think so lah. I've never seen anything like that. If they macam tu like
if there is, it's called overthinking. Hallucination.
No, if they are like that, then obviously they're not under the straight category already. They're already in the LGBT because they don't want to be called other than that already. So it wouldn't be a straight thing anymore.
Okay.
But what if they like women only, but they want to insist on
Yeah,
themselves?
they are male who likes women.
Why?
This is what he asks right now.
Because could that ever happen? Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Because from what I see, it's all very random. They have no strong basis to say that they are he, she, or they, or any of those on a particular day.
Okay, I think I am seeing where you're coming from.
Wait.
No, I really no because he was
Okay,
like trying to say from there. Because I mean, my perspective when you're telling that, my
Uh-huh.
brain automatically assumed that he was actually straight already, but he still want to be called as she.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what
But
Ezra trying to say.
but those who are non-binary, they are not straight. That's the problem.
Okay, give me an example.
They are okay. Non-binary, the gender, right? Non-binary. They could be attracted to males and females. I think so because I don't know what's their sexual orientation. If they're
Bisexual lah.
non-binary. If okay, bisexual. Okay, let's go for bisexual. Easier. Okay, they're
Okay.
attracted to male and the
Female.
masculine part and the feminine
part.
personalities part, right?
Mm.
So male and female. Okay. So they are so you if they are straight, they wouldn't be even considering about the female male the same gender if they're straight. Okay? If they are male, if they are a male bisexual, let me rephrase that. Okay, if they are a male bisexual, okay, they will have feelings for a male and a female. Okay,
Okay.
but if this male straight has a feeling for a guy, sexually feeling for this guy,
Mm-hmm.
then obviously he's not straight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's also a term where they call it as bi-curious. But I don't know, is it even the part of the LGBTQ or is this like a thing?
So basically,
Oh, you cannot see your finger. It's a
it's getting
thing.
more complicated. Moving forward is getting more complicated than it is already.
Then
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
and that's the
not-
conclusion for everything. Gender is like a pathway lah. Let them
Okay,
go
okay,
through
wait.
what they want.
Okay, what they want to go through, whatever they want, they want to do what they want.
Okay, so
what they
so
want, go ahead.
Thirresh, I would like to make something clear. I tak faham. That's why I
Okay.
tanya.
Apa
So
siapa tanya?
the people yang apa tu insist on calling them something other than he or she on a particular day, okay? Diorang akan base it on diorang punya sexual preference ke?
Oh, that I'm not sure. I don't think so though. Because if it was based on sexual preference, they wouldn't consider them as non-binary. They would consider as bisexual.
Okay, so if it's not on sexual preference, if it's not on biological keadaan, then
What is it based on?
Yeah.
What is
It's based on how they feel. Feelings is a very complicated thing.
Yeah.
It's like the same
It's
thing
based
as
on feeling.
none
I
of us
think
can
betul lah.
understand a woman.
It just goes back to people being entitled. I think for the most part, a lot of them bukan confused or apa tu betul-betul genuinely rasa they are influenced by apa tu
Yes, that's what I want to
By
say
the
also.
movements
Yeah.
that they want to be part of this exclusive
Yes,
group
yes,
of
yes.
people.
Yeah, they are. Okay, that one I agree because ada orang they can be get influenced. That this is like a whole debate in psychology where it's called nature and nurture.
Hmm.
Nurture is something that's influenced by the environment, and then nature is like dalam memang dah ada dah. It's biologically is in you.
So okay. I would say.
Some people will agree that it could be an environmental influence. Mungkin diorang punya okay, just imagine a straight guy and he's following James Charles. Then bila dia tengok dia suka put makeup and stuff like that. So so maybe he thought that maybe I am also one.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
Yeah, is
could
that
happen
what
also.
you're trying to say?
Ah,
Or
and-
he could just be a guy that is
Yeah, he
very
could be,
into
okay.
apa tu benda-benda macam ni. There's nothing particularly wrong with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
But the
not-
only way to know if this fella really likes male or not is when he goes on a date and tries to find out about this other guy and see if it really works.
Ba-
If those who are memang straight, they memang cannot think about dating a guy.
So
Memang-
basically, they want to know means what you're saying.
if they want to know, they'll go and find out. They will go.
It is because they are being influenced by other people also who are gay.
Mhm.
That's why they are
Okay.
thinking they got those kind of thoughts that maybe I am.
If
gay,
they are
so
thinking
maybe-
like that, and if
Yeah.
they change their mind, it's okay. It's normal lah. Tak ada orang akan like mistake lah. It's just
Can I say
Continue
something?
to
Can I
clear.
say something for those community? Okay, it's not that I'm against them or anything, but it is my opinion again. Or if this kind LGBT community like the rate of people who are gay and lesbian increase, so the birth rate will decrease, but so it will. But you understand this, right?
Yeah.
Then you know
I
where-
agree with you.
Okay,
Okay,
you know where I'm
imagining-
going, right? You know where I'm going right now. So if you
You
drive,
scared that your pupus is it?
No,
Yeah.
this might happen. This might happen. This might
Yeah,
actually
it's
happen.
because pada mulanya, okay, benda ni dia something not normal,
Yeah,
okay,
not
but
normal.
people
It's not
fight
normal.
for it, that it becomes accepted, and
Yes.
after
Okay.
it's accepted, it becomes a culture. After it becomes a culture, it becomes a must. You tak sah manusia kalau you bukan one of these people. Takut in a 1 or 200 years, if you are a straight person, okay, you yang dapat label something like LGBT. You are
Yeah.
the weird
Oh,
one
okay.
Yeah,
out.
Then
you
you
are
are
the-
you
You
are
are the
thinking that bad
you
Yeah.
are
people.
going against the grain.
Then
You are, you
I
thought that
see
the state will
things.
become the minority, is it?
yeah,
Yeah, and you
Oh,
are
oh my god, you're
encouraging that.
thinking that far. Why you're going seeing so far?
No. Look. Because you're saying something like this, right? It will really affect our humanity. This is a real problem. You say, oh, war might not happen. Fucking hell. You say 200 years ago, maybe 300 years ago, they say, oh, war might not be happen, or this kind of stuff might not be happen. Why are you thinking so far? Then one day people clash, and then they fight, and then they go war. That's why there's World War One and World War Two. Because of people
Okay,
who want to
thanks
think
sayang.
far.
I can tell you for sure, war has been known to happen. Nobody has
forever.
denied war from happening
Yeah.
ever in
We're still
history.
having
Yeah.
war. You see social media, you see how many wars are going on.
Yeah. But
No,
okay,
tak
come.
payah tak payah cakap tikam lidah punya war
Ah.
pun. Okay, even sekarang there are a lot of wars going on in the world. Kita je yang tak exposed to it.
Yeah, like
Macam dekat
Myanmar.
Yeah, Myanmar.
Myanmar dia okay lah, civil war.
Ah.
Boleh. But also dekat the African countries, and then dekat Israel Palestine, yang tu memang tak habis-habis.
How many decades already?
So we
Yeah,
are never
I know
actually peaceful. But I get Teng punya contoh macam people dulu kata we cannot fly, and then it becomes reality.
Yeah.
Just because kita pandang jauh, we were looking far, it doesn't mean we are wrong, and we have basis for it. Macam apa tu, Teng kata nanti go extinct, kita tak payah tengok LGBT apa semua, kita tengok Japan saja. Okay, diorang punya LGBTQ apa semua tu not as widespread as dekat Western countries, but they are going into negative birth rate. Okay, diorang punya pyramid tengah menguncup. They are worried that within berapa puluh tahun je kan, that diorang akan pupus basically because all of them tua. And how does this happen? It happens because ramai perempuan dekat Japan nak bekerjaya, and bila diorang dah tua, diorang dah nak ada anak, they realize it's too late.
Yes.
Okay, so benda yang tak melibatkan LGBTQ pun boleh lead to this kalau LGBTQ jadi berleluasa sangat sampai people yang going the actual betul punya way of having sex, basically pupus. Humanity itself will pupus.
Okay.
It's not a matter of apa tu if. I dare say it's a matter of when saja, if LGBTQ berleluasa.
And I want to say, okay, wait, before Thirresh say anything. Support can support. Agree, I can support that, I will respect that. But they need to put a line where only the real gay and person or who are really gay can come in. Like you don't.
Yeah.
You must really like what do you call that? How to say that word? Filtered those people. Like those who are just thinking or having doubts, right? Must really go to maybe a therapy. Really ask a psychologist, like maybe thinking, is it influenced by other people? Is it he is really gay?
Yeah, now this is where I tentang sangat the LGBT community. I am all for the rights to be treated as human beings, but when they start spreading this ideology, okay, people yang like at the on the fence lagi, will be carried away with the wave.
Yeah.
With all this buzz about this is right, LGBTQ is natural and everything. People yang on the brink saja can fall and terjerumus, and this will bring even the people on the other side of the fence curious, and then lama-lama, like I said, it becomes accepted, becomes culture, and then it becomes a must.
Okay, let me break down from population first. Simpan banyak pula. Okay. So population, okay. By I don't have statistics or anything to prove my point, but basically those who
It's okay.
are
This is Teng's channel. It's all out Teng. All
All
out
out.
with Teng.
Yeah, this is all out.
There's no credibility here.
yeah. Yeah,
but
just say
okay,
what you
I do get like you're worried that okay, most probably the population might decrease, and the LGBT who was a minority will become a majority, and the state will become minority, and people might get actually influenced by that, and they will go there, right? Okay, I break down the population to you, okay? In population wise, most of the gay couples, they don't just like have the pleasure, they also fall in love. So when they fall in love, obviously they're going to have a family, okay? So when they want to have a family, obviously guy, girl, mana kan, they don't have. So that's where they have surrogacy, where the male will give the sperm. Okay, oh god, going back to the okay, but we as scientifically, okay, they will actually have a surrogacy where gay family, a gay couple will actually go and find a mother to surrogate their own child, and after give birth, they will have the child if they want to have a child, lah. Okay.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Now that you say it, there will always be demand, so there should always be supply. Okay. Okay. I faham tu.
Okay.
So extinction is not really on the table right now. Okay.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to worry about extinction. Yeah? And kita ada lagi like kids who are orphans also. Ada yang straight couples, they have baby and they just give up the babies also.
But the worry is still valid that apa tu normal will be the new abnormal.
Yes.
No, I get like why people might get influenced. Now I really get understand, because most of the teenagers nowadays, they can actually get very influenced very easy.
Just about anything.
Yeah, just by anything. They get really.
Anything.
Oh my god, we're going back to the first podcast.
Yeah.
It's these days.
These days. But it's real, what? It's what's happening, what?
It's true.
Yeah.
But a very good way to know whether they are or not is there is a very good suggestion. Like you can go and seek a psychologist and ask, is this like the one? Is this the criteria to be one? Because we actually have, but I don't remember we have anything about that. We just took out the whole thing and tell that it's not a disease. That's all. But that is a good suggestion though. Mike can put in lah, but I am not sure how to answer if you've got influence, because really if influence means but I only know like once someone kena influence, right, can be influenced back, but it has to be like fast lah. Kalau dia influence, lepas tu you bagi dia time like a year to him familiarize with that same influence, and you never change the behavior, it will still lead to that same behavior. But behaviors can be changed. It will definitely change.
But so it's not a worry now. So you said it's not a worry now.
Okay, now Thirresh, you kata behavior can be changed. So yang apa tu gender fluid people ni,
It's a behavior.
it's not something that's natural that they cannot change. They can change.
But this
They
is
can,
the one.
if they want to change,
But-
I think they will change lah.
But they want people
To
to change
accept
for them. Yeah,
They want people to change their mindset about them. That's all.
What's the
Yeah.
mindset? Okay. What's the mindset? About?
Yeah, but-
are we
but what-
discriminate them?
what-
Are we hating on them? Or
What kind of mindset?
Yeah. What kind of mindset?
Because
do we
some
have?
people might think they are just like tipu lah. Like how can they don't feel both gender? They have to choose one at least, right? Like even trans people, they even though they are male, but they still feel like a woman. So they obviously they change themselves, right? So non-binary people, people have assumed non-binary people are like jokey. They're not like serious. They're not even like a thing. Because non-binary, like who doesn't, like people might think, right, like who doesn't feel like a guy or a girl, like you have to choose something, right? Takkan nak pilih something, right? Even animals also they pilih something, male, female. But fun fact that even animals also they
ada
have,
homosexual.
yeah.
God,
That's the one like really like put a
Okay.
border when people say LGBT is not natural.
But kita nak compare diri kita dengan animals ke? Okay,
But-
animals do that out of seeking pleasure. There's no biological matlamat to it. Betul
That's the
tak?
only difference with us humans. We also have emotions. The love,
And
the
and we also have self-control.
Self-control.
oh, so you're gonna talk about self-control with love right now.
Huh?
So the debate now is about self-love dengan self-control.
I
No,
think
You
I
know,
think
uh,
I think
no. Okay. Tadi you kata in the animal kingdom pun ada occurrences of
gay.
homosexual relations.
Yes.
Okay. Tapi yang tu they do it out of tak tahan. You know, some animals can die because diorang tak boleh lepaskan diorang punya hajat.
okay.
Okay.
Ah.
That is just that is
I
just
didn't
how
know
it
about
is.
it, but now
Yeah, it is how
Apa
it
tu?
is.
Kita do we really want to compare ourselves superior beings to that we don't have self control, that apa tu, kita kena juga lepaskan hajat tu, no matter how, even if it's dengan orang sama seks dengan kita. No, we have the choice. The choice is in our hands. And as you said, behavior can be changed. It can be, it's tough, but it can be changed. It can be apa tu, sculpted. Okay, so
Okay.
yang apa tu nak kata gender fluid apa semua ni, they can conform to society. Okay, I rasa for the most part, diorang just want to be some exclusive golongan. They want to have some kind of privilege, even if it just lies in the words he, she, or they, because that is orang zaman sekarang. They want to be they want to have some kind of privilege. Yeah.
you want them to have some kind of recognition, like
Yeah.
oh, I have.
Why can't you just be gay, lesbian, or bisexual and still be called he or she based on your appearance or biological factors?
We really have to talk to a non-binary person about that. They will really understand, because
What makes you
creativity-
non-binary?
Yeah.
non-binary lah. Like those who memang don't have a
Okay.
he or a
Thirresh will come out down to one word again. It's about feelings. At the end of the day, it's about feelings. What they feel about themselves. So we
Yeah.
you're talking about feelings. So feelings can be changed, right?
feelings can be changed. True.
Yeah. So we can. So basically, we can treat them right as like, okay, you might
Those people who are
we can
just-
teach them that, okay, you are she, you are a girl, you are a female, you should accept who you are, acknowledge who you are, and not being like confused that who are you. Your personality is different lah, but you're biologically you are female. Just your thoughts that you are not a female, right? It's your thoughts, right? It's your feeling. It's not like being affected by hormones or anything, right? It's not any. So basically, it's just feeling. So I don't think it's, how to say, it's valid
Right.
also. This kind of stuff to stand for.
Because feelings, even because feelings we cannot even measure sometimes. I do get that. Like feelings we cannot measure. We can't even predict. Sometimes one day it will be like this, suddenly it will be that. But that could be bipolar disorder. But still, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, just because I love someone who people told me not to love someone,
We are not
why
talking
should
about
I-
gay people. We're talking about gender pronouns right now. Gay people, those we respect them.
okay, you're still okay. It's just that the non-binary is the one we are.
Just how to say, just that how they want us to call them is like how to say. I'm a Chinese. I never asked you to call me a Chinese also, right? Okay. From today on, I only want you all to call me a Chinese because I'm Chinese. I don't care. You disrespect me when you call me you, she, or my name. You understand? It's something like that,
okay.
you know. So it's just like,
You cannot spell.
you cannot spell what? Say.
Jangan cakap.
Nama dia Teng Sheng Ching kan?
Yeah.
You cannot spell Sheng without she.
Hey. Okay, what?
Shank. Okay.
Okay, where we stop right now? Okay, where we stop right now? Where I stop? The hell? He, she, or
Non-binary.
okay. We're talking about Chinese. Basically, it's something like that. Is what I want to say, right? it's just like making things complicated, making things
What's that?
it basically what I'm trying to say is it can be changed, and for maybe if you don't want to change also, don't force it on someone else, and accept that what people call you. You call what you want to call yourself what, it's okay. It's like if other people call me an idiot, should I go and literally bash him? Oh, why you call me an idiot? You disrespect me, and and then literally group a society to ban this word idiot, not to call me an idiot, right? Like they all just make it a big deal. Why you all want to call? Okay, it's
making a big deal. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is, because
Content and,
she dia tak membawa banyak maksud pun.
Mhm.
Okay, but you are telling there's so much difference that is going to make people offended, so let's call people they. You're putting so much meaning into these words that at the end of the day you're actually making it meaningless.
Yeah.
It will lose all meaning pun.
Yeah.
but what's the actual true meaning of they and them?
Hmm?
We
More
refer
than
to
one
them
people.
as
Okay, they them
More than
is
one people, right?
people in general, but it has come into acceptance that you can refer to one person,
As they.
okay, given that you don't know apa tu, or dalam konteks tu dia tak tetap lagi apa tu lelaki atau perempuan. So contoh, I'm talking about people in general, okay, but I say if someone loves some apa tu dia punya partner, they would do something like this that. Okay, when I say they in this sentence, it is referring to that someone I was talking about. Okay, dalam sentence ni dia tak specific to either gender. Okay, but it can apply to either. Kalau dalam aspek kita day-to-day conversation dengan orang that we know dia punya gender, when we are referring to that person who is either male or female, there's no point in saying they, because gender dia sudah tetap. So kalau kita nak abide by apa tu belief that we should apa tu be more selective with our words, we are reassigning the definition of gender. Tapi my problem, okay, I'm summing up my problem with this reassigning the meaning to gender. You nak reassign to what? If the keadaan sekarang tidak cukup bagus untuk you, keadaan macam mana yang you nak?
Yeah.
Kalau you nak dia apa tu subjektif, ikut orang, ikut hari, then there's no meaning already, because anything goes.
Basically, you just want it your way. Then you want us to follow your way.
Then create your own language lah.
you want to create your own language.
You know, like from what I see, these non-binary people, they want us to call them that, and they want us to follow their ideology of this, calling them they, he or she, whatever. Like, can we not do that? It's the same as me preaching Christianity to you.
Okay.
And I asked you to follow me. Did you want to? No, right? Nobody wants that, right? The same goes to the non-binary people lah. Like they put those
Okay,
words out.
I think Teng, you punya analogy ni terlalu reaching, because macam I would look at it this way. Thirresh Hindu, I Muslim, you Buddhist, okay? Thirresh tak makan lembu. You pun you pun macam mana? I know a lot of Chinese tak boleh makan lembu.
I'm a Christian. I eat everything.
Oh, I lupa je, bukan Buddhist. Sorry, thanks. You should have corrected me at Buddhist.
No. I thought you want to make an how to call it?
Example.
Example. I was just like let it go lah.
Okay.
Until you say,
Okay.
can you eat beef? I was like, no, I eat beef. Okay, yeah, why?
So I tak makan babi, Thirresh tak makan lembu.
Ah.
Would you offer us would you offer mi dengan babi dekat I, or apa tu nasi kuah daging lembu dekat Thirresh?
No.
No, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we respect people in that way. Now, I'm sure a lot of these gender fluid queer people would use the same argument. You would respect, and therefore you would not use, or you would use certain words out of respect. So kalau dari segi preaching tu, I think dia kurang sesuai sikit analogy dia.
Okay.
But some people is like that. But there are people that want us to learn about this. So that is why I'm saying I'm
Life is
making
all
the
about
preaching
knowledge.
analogy lah.
Right. So it's just a part of a learning part.
To learn, I tak kisah to learn, okay? Because learning is where you
Understand?
Grow
the first
as an
step to
individual,
question.
kan? Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that's true.
Tapi what they
Okay,
want
belajar
is
lepas tu
us to
try to apply.
accept. What they want is for us to accept.
So you are not accepting.
I'm not agreeable to that part.
Okay, if you're not gonna accept, then it's okay, no problem. I mean, I don't think so. People really like, accept lah, apa lah kau ni, like bodoh.
Panggil je lah they, right?
Itu memang like,
I don't think in our lifetime, hopefully in Malaysia, okay, in our
Malaysia, I
lifetime
don't
ada such level of insistence.
I don't think so. Maybe in
Last week,
organizations.
Ezran, we are talking about this last week also about the kids.
Apa dia?
It's not happening right now, but it's happening a little bit.
No.
About
Kalau LGBTQ, yes, is happening. Apa tu, very apparent. Okay. Tapi dari segi argument about he, she apa semua,
wait,
it's not
from
really yet.
there, they will come to this one.
Ya, tapi kita punya bahasa Melayu, bahasa India, bahasa Cina tak ada problem sangat dengan
Okay,
benda ni.
only the English. Only the English.
So it's going to come in a bit later. Hopefully not in our lifetime, right?
Yeah. But
I don't
okay.
It
Where
might
did I
come
start?
like slow. But I don't think so you'll be seeing. It will come like maybe in NGO meetings ke, or
It will
like,
probably, yeah.
tapi dia kecil-kecil je. It won't be like until the government dalam parliament, you know, all that. I don't
Or
think
university. Maybe
but
private universities je kot, tapi public universities tak kot.
private they have to lah sebab dia orang kan ada link dengan dia kan ada link dengan luar negara.
It's getting at the end of the day, it's getting complicated. Our life is getting complicated. We don't know what to call other people also. You know what, Thirresh? I messaged you also that day. It's so complicated. We just call everyone the fella. That fella. That fella.
Actually, okay. Yeah, I was like that fella, right? After that, I googled out. Actually,
The fella refers to a guy.
the fella way. It's guy.
Yeah.
No. I call girl so the fella.
You're using it wrong.
Yeah, fella tak boleh way. I googled that day after.
The problem is I call everyone that fella. I call everyone, don't care lah. You girl ke you boy?
Kan always call everyone fella. Or he'll put like kalau dia memang tak ingat nama, he'll go to like how you look like or what race are you like. Chinese fella.
The fella
Because ramai orang apa tu in Malaysia, I guess we don't really use fella that often. Okay, so we don't appreciate its meaning pada asalnya. So of course people don't really get offended when you call fella because apa tu in their minds it's not as especially for males. Tapi kalau ikut yang betulnya Teng, it's for guys.
It's for guys.
When you said that, be careful later. Non-binary people are like, oh, these people call me the fella.
But I'm telling you, the safest way, even though like, they ask you to call they them, is the safest way is just call the name. It's simple, and people like to be called their name, right? Rather than
just call the name. Like in the area, they just
Yeah.
call the name.
for me, if I don't want you to call me he went there, I'll be like call Thirresh lah. Like my parents give me my name already. Then call lah. It'd be. I feel validated.
Okay, but if I'm talking to Teng about you, okay, let's say, okay, let's get Thirresh to come to our house to so that we can throw him a surprise party. Takkanlah kita nak guna let's call Thirresh so we can throw Thirresh a surprise party. Too many names in a sentence.
You want that? Okay, so you want to make it simpler.
That's why they've changed it to throw the birthday party, the non-binary people.
But actually, if those who are non-binary, right?
you see.
Now, I would see them as offensive. Okay, especially kalau macam Andre, someone like Andre, they can perceive it as offensive. Why? Because apa tu, we make jokes about him being two people.
Or three.
Well, what? You do?
Okay. We are not fat shaming people on this podcast.
Shaming lah, toxic body positivity lah.
but toxic positivity is a thing. Okay,
That's different.
that
That was a very different
on that day already. But we're talking about gender pronouns.
What did I say? Oh, I didn't say like if okay. What if like we find a solution lah? Since if we don't get the point of view right, what do you suggest? Should call them
He, she. That's it.
he, she. That's all.
He, she, based on
how they
appearance
look, how
and apa tu biological. Okay, let's say kalau dia apa tu perempuan, lahir perempuan tapi dia apa tu masculine features kan, and then dia potong rambut pula pendek, dia punya suara garau. Okay. Then kalau you nampak, of course you terus assume it's a he. But if you kenal dia and you tahu dia lahir sebagai perempuan, then call her a she. Okay.
So you prefer to call based on their biological, right?
Yes. I
Yes.
think this makes things easier because
Thank you.
too much stuff happen already, so we don't want to add more stuff happen in this LGBT community. Like they do have their rights already, right to get married as same sex, and they nobody discriminate. No, the rate of discrimination decreased already greatly across the year. I think what more do they want? I mean, I think they should just live a complete normal life lah. That's about it lah. I think they fight for what they
It's
want.
okay. They actually they are living their life, and people in the US especially they already accepted like because the only language they speak there is English. So everything
I think at the end of the day is the extremists. The extremists that want everything.
That is the problem. When it's too much, it becomes toxic, and
Yes.
when it's too little, it becomes a discrimination.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Rhyming
Wow. What kind of bullshit is that? But yeah, like same goes to where like during
Jadi
that time when we fight for our ancestors fight for our rights, Chinese fight for their rights, the Malaysian fight for their rights for Merdeka and all that. When they get Merdeka, it all came back to normal already. It's the same as LGBT also lah. For me lah, from my point of view, like you got the respect already. Nobody
yeah,
respect you.
macam apa racism in America.
Yeah.
Now there is such thing as positive discrimination.
Yeah.
Okay, sebelum ni they were fighting for apa tu rights, basic rights that everyone should enjoy that they did not enjoy
Yes.
just because of color of the skin.
Ah.
Tapi after a while, now in 21st century, ada problem of positive discrimination where we're giving privilege, we're giving extra marks, extra points to them just because they are different. Okay, so I think I can see the same pattern here with the he or she. You dah dapat gay marriage apa semua dekat US, okay? I'm talking about US because of course a lot of these things are very prominent there. So you tak puas lagi dengan tu. You nak apa go
You
to
want more.
little things macam he she pun.
Like it's like you want more and more and more and more. When you get it, you want more and more and more. Like if so, it's not gonna end lah. Like at the end, then you all will be being entitled already. It's like at the end of the day, it's like Ezran said lah. They love to being entitled, being recognized, being.
We humans all are fighting for entitlement at the end of the day. Something to be recognized as an identity at a certain age lah. Because it's like that we have like stages of life.
Yeah. We acknowledge them as gay, lesbian, LGBT community. Now they want shit like the little tiniest, like what do you call that, details. Also they want to get
What's
recognized
next?
lah. What's next? Yeah, what's next?
Incest.
What's next?
LGBTQAI.
No, incest? No,
I for incest.
Yeah, see?
I don't think so.
You say you don't
But
think so.
incest, actually, if I'm not no, I don't have research, so I cannot talk about it.
Okay. But you have your own
It's
opinion.
okay.
You can
This
say.
is thanks standard.
Yeah.
You can say anything.
Okay, in my opinion,
Yeah.
okay, incest but it's supposed to be okay because wait, listen okay? Despite all the DNA,
How dare you say something so controversial?
I never checked if it's a mental disease yet or not. Okay? I'm just seeing
Home
from
sweet
the love.
Alabama.
I'm seeing I'm seeing the love is love concept, okay? I'm seeing from that view, okay? Love is love concept.
Okay.
They date each other.
You know, okay.
Love ada very different.
You know,
Yeah, but this love is
I think
sexually
Azizu said
love.
this like very suit for this conversation. Okay, wait, where is it? Let me see.
Who's that?
Azizu said something. Wait.
Hey, Azizul.
Yeah, wait. He said this. Lust and love is two different things.
Last one?
Lust and
Lust
love is two
and
different things.
Yeah, correct.
So I think it applies to this also.
Most Malaysians actually seeing the gay and sex and all of that just under the last part. They don't see the love part. Those, if you see properly, those who are actually fighting for, they're actually fighting for the love.
Yeah,
and there are people that
initially,
just for the love.
initially they fight for the love. Initially they fight for the love. Then
Okay,
suddenly,
ada yang love, okay, but I can tell you a lot of them are just hedonists. Dia tengah seek pleasures je. They switch partners on Grindr. That's the app, right? Apa every night, just like a lot of straight people go on one night stands. Kalau nak kata gay marriage apa semua tu, okay, that is a commitment. You can say there's love there. Tapi a lot of the people out there are just seeking lust.
Yeah. Those you want to call them problematic, dah memang problematic betul. They actually have problems. The actual life crisis problems. Some actually can be sex addicts also. It can happen to anyone. It could be different type of
what?
Tu yang jadi incest tu.
That's why you become incest.
That's why I'm telling you, I never do my research. It's actually incest is actually a type of sex addiction because there is actually a disorder in the DSM for fetish, where you have implicit sexual heightened sexual feelings for objects and things and different parts of body. Okay, different part of body. So I don't know. I think going to categorize that as that way or not. Because I never read. I warning sekarang. I never read anything, but it's just like a general assumption. What I've seen and experienced, and I'm knowing now.
Experience.
What I read lah, experience lah. Apa belajar, pengajaran. Pengajaran. I don't know what is this pengajaran. Lesson. Okay, lesson. Oh my god.
Be careful, your friends watching you right now.
But I find it funny though. Apa tu, ramai people in the Western culture. Diorang like very grossed out by first or even second cousin marriages. Tapi same sex, okay.
They're okay, but then actually padahal us like Indians or we actually they will try to get us married with our cousins.
Yeah.
Like the mom
apa
side.
From what I've learned lah, apa tu, kalau you apa tu ada anak dengan your cousins, dia punya risk tu not as high as having anak with cousins for berketurunan. Kalau banyak-banyak keturunan buat macam tu, then there will be biological hazards yang memang apa tu teruk.
Yeah, they have body deformity. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, kalau apa antara cousins yang keturunan sebelum ni tak intermix, tak that's not a real problem there. It's discouraged, but dia tak seteruk yang dibesar-besarkan.
Aku faham.
Apa kalau same sex relations probably would lead to more adverse effects, macam Teng kata, infections
and a lot more. but yeah. So should we come to a conclusion already? Do you all have anything to add?
Dah nak pukul 4 dah. Q&A lah.
Q&A?
Q&A, walau. Do you really have Q&A?
Q&A.
Last week we had.
Yeah, anyone want to ask any questions?
Azizul, hi Azizul. Shout out to Azizul.
I baru nak baca komen.
I just in masa lah saya reading.
You go and watch.
Shout out to Aiman. What's up, Aiman?
Aiman Chow already. Aiman Chow already. But he did say something like very interesting there. And
Aiman has this guy here, Aiman, right? He actually
Siapa
has
Aiman ni?
damn
Anyone
good.
kenal dia?
no, it's Thirresh
Tak,
fans.
tak, tak. This one is my course programming. I don't know what's the word lah. We don't use class already now, right?
Later
So
they
dia
fight
punya
for it
opinions
again.
are like
Sad,
super
sad.
damn good. I really love my classmates' punya opinions. All of us have different type of opinions.
Why they don't come to this this podcast?
That's all lah. I don't know lah. Bodoh tak. Korang kau tengok kan. Sekarang korang tengok tak live kan. Aku tengok tau. Okay. Kita warning already. Nanti suruh saya buat questionnaire kau siap.
This is the end of the video. You must ask them to finish watching the video. Then
Yeah, that's
Apa
why.
yang Azizul kata ni? Remember, there's a war about slavery.
Oh, because the time just now we are talking about war, Palestine and where? The Palestine between the Palestine and where? Syria or something.
Israel.
Israel. Okay, there, and then we're talking about slavery, war from Myanmar also. That's why he add on also. That's why he add on what.
The Israel one is still
You
going
know,
on.
I find it funny that America is the one
Just
that had
started it.
a war about slavery, and now they're all acting woke about racism.
Did you
and all
saw the
this.
interview with the Queen one?
Huh?
Did you see the interview with the Prince?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The,
They were like, we are not racist, but padahal they were the first one who like conquered colonized the whole entire nation first.
yeah.
Kind of British army. to look at.
Yeah, British Army. He's the one that conquer everyone. Now.
And then they were like, I'm not racist.
But I think it's the next generation.
Why-
We
white
cannot blame
supremacy
the
came from them.
we cannot blame the next generation. We must blame the past
No,
generation.
like, we cannot blame them.
We cannot
Correct.
blame them also. They also don't know when they're born. They are.
Yeah,
They are
apa tu?
being told.
It's what we grew up in. But sometimes there's apa tu, benda betul and benda apa tu salah juga. People are too quick to say, oh, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Just like today's topic.
Okay,
Yeah.
what would be an interesting topic for next week?
Interesting topic.
Yeah, do you like have any questions or ada tak yang soalan yang I didn't properly jawab?
No, because right now it's in the grey part where how to say, a grey area for me is in a grey area where I just don't know what to do with those people, and I haven't met those people yet. So until I met those
It's
people,
good that if you ask them, so we'll know what is actually in their mind.
when
I only know from what I read from their report. I mean,
from
it's
the
supposed to be
TikTok
private
video
conversation.
lah, from the YouTube
Okay,
YouTube
but
interview.
I nampak comment saying pansexual. How do you have the hots for stuff?
What is that? Where are you seeing?
Sekejap.
Is it Aiman or is it
Azizul from Azizul. That's
Dia
called
kata
pansexual.
marrying
I think
objects.
marrying objects.
I Google apa maksud pansexual.
Yeah, I also don't know what is
Pansexual is those who are attracted pula.
Limited
Attracted to their personalities. So it could be a male, it could be a female. I mean, it could be a guy, it could be a girl, or it could be a transgender.
Oh,
With their personality. Yeah. They also have orang yang memang tak ada sexual.
I would just say they're bisexual.
Yes.
So they only bisexual tapi bisexual ni like they only this one the guy girl, diorang tak ikut trans. Kalau tambah trans and they only see the personality not the sex. Bisexual they only see sexually. Personality tak tengok personality.
Ezran, like say, it's very complicated one.
It is very complicated.
Okay, since I tak iktiraf all this personality, gender, cisgender apa semua tu. Actually, I don't know what cisgender means. Maybe it's something real.
Cisgender is what we are. They actually term us as cisgender. That is the sexual part that we were initiated based on our genitals, something like that. Dia punya definisi. You just later Google cisgender apa tu.
Oh my god. You see now the normal pun dah ada a name for it.
Yeah, okay, yang dalam gender sebenarnya ada dua saja kan, male female.
Yeah.
So now they have break down the gender itself. There is so many types category macam tu.
Okay. I understand distinction for transgender and cisgender. Okay, but I rasa cisgender tu tak necessary because
I don't know why it's even called cis lah. It's the CIS yang aku belajar bahasa Melayu yang cheese, you know the ibu.
Yeah, for what? I thought it's like the CYST.
When you're angry, then you say cheese.
No,
I
think
thought it was a
this-
disease lah. CYST, cyst.
Remember kita belajar chemistry, yang apa tu
Isometric lah.
ada cis trans punya structure.
CYST.
I think ni dia punya prefix tu sama makna lah dengan tu, bukan cheese or anything macam tu. But I rasa macam unnecessary because we already have yang sedia ada a general assumption yang sedia ada. So tak payah nak kata.
They just improvise apa yang ada, that's all.
But now that they are dia rasa the need to have such a distinction, I'm getting worried that lama-lama yes, what I said tu it becomes true. Benda normal sekarang ni akan jadi salah and weird in masa depan.
Yeah.
But I don't think so it will go until that extent lah.
I hope so.
If it goes, people will actually memang tahu. Those who are in that community, they will know.
Actually, it has happened before. Teng should believe in it, even if he does not know it yet. Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible ada kata, betul tak?
What? Say again.
The ancient cities Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh no, I never heard of it.
The prophet Lot punya story. You don't know?
No, my church teacher never taught me about this. They
Don't
just
you read the Bible yourself?
I got no time to read the Bible itself. But
Okay.
So explain what is it?
But basically, dalam the Abrahamic religions, we have this tercatat dalam sejarah in our holy books. Okay, be it the Torah, the Bible, or Quran. Of course, ada differences sikit. Okay, the Muslims would argue that the previous books were tampered with. Okay. I tak nak talk about that because that would be offensive to Tang. Tapi the point is ada cerita pasal this ancient civilizations, two cities ikut sejarah they were traced to kawasan Israel Palestine sekarang. These were two very advanced and prosperous cities, but the homosexual relations were so teruk that God terbalikkan tanah. Kalau ikut Quran, terbalikkan tanah of the whole city and hempap ke atas the whole population.
wait, is it
So that
about
means like it just like went up.
is it about the continuous after that is about the Ark of Noah?
No, Noah was way before.
Okay, Noah is way before. Then it's not the story.
So I think dalam Bible it's not terbalikkan the bumi, the tanah, tapi
It's meteor showering or
fire.
something.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, now I understand.
Dalam the Bible, I pernah dengar a priest on YouTube say, dia baca dari the Bible lah. The story went something like Abraham, dia hidup sama zaman dengan Lot. So Abraham prayed to God that jangan turunkan bala ni selagi ada seorang person in that civilization yang tak tainted with this hubungan songsang, yang still believe in God. Tapi but God replied that memang tak ada seorang pun. He sent angels and tak ada seorang pun. And when angels came to visit Lot in the city, the people tahu and they came to Lot's door and they told him to buka pintu and let them basically rape the guests.
Rape.
Yeah, the whole city went in front of the house and knocked on the door demanding that Lot give up his guests so that they can have sexual relations with them.
Oh,
Like
wow.
the whole city came and wanted to do it.
Oh.
The hell, how the whole system? Okay, nama this is the Bible.
It's the
Okay.
Bible. It's the Bible. Sorry.
Bible,
Bear
yeah.
in mind, cities zaman tu bukan macam city zaman kita.
Yeah, aku like a kampung type, right? Is
Yeah.
that what?
It's bigger than kampung, but it's not
As
as big as
civilized as.
it's not as big as a town zaman sekarang. I dare say.
KK, kota ke? Oh,
No, don't compare. Okay, just listen to the story, and then okay, I
Okay,
understand your story,
continue.
and then in the end, it was rain of fires, then everyone died in the city.
Okay,
Okay.
so and dalam apa tu, Islam pun ada something like that. Tuhan tak turunkan bala ke satu masyarakat, satu nation kalau the transgression tak widespread teruk. Okay, so these things actually happen, and kalau kita believe in the Bible, the Quran punya story, it was beyond repair dah, the extent. Everyone was tainted with apa tu, this urge to have apa tu, sodomy, which is apa tu, gay lah, for the most part. So yang you kata it won't happen, it will. Lagi-lagi dengan zaman sekarang ada internet, right? It's gonna spread much faster all over the globe. The only reason that any kind of heterosexual relations would go on is like you said tadi, ada people nak adopt, so kena ada surrogate mother. Probably it will only happen only because of demand. Kalau tak, people takkan kisah dah pasal procreation.
But do you guys think there is the population now is cukup?
It doesn't have to be cukup anymore because it's going to be cukup eventually because of the internet. Macam let's not talk about apa LGBT ke apa, macam flat earth theory apa semua, benda ni dah lama dah. But now it's becoming so popular because anybody can say anything on the internet, kan?
Yeah.
The hak bersuara is been
and people senang nak dapat benda ni. They didn't have to ketuk pintu like minta diam-diam. They didn't have to meet in secret at night. You search je benda ni keluar. Even if you don't search for it, then masuk dalam ads or something, you know, through the internet. You know, algorithms, dia tak kisah whether something tu betul ke tak, as long as it's popular.
See?
So dengan a lot of people fighting for LGBT rights and nak minta lebih-lebih ni, lama-lama it will become normal lah.
It is normal, really.
It is normal.
It is normal. It's just that they want more. The community want more.
What do you mean by normal, Tang?
Normal means everyone accepts it already. It's widely spread. Everyone knows about this LGBT, and
Okay, knowing, like I said, knowing and practicing two different things.
Yeah. But it's like people out there doing this kind of stuff, and it is normal, and it is, how to say.
Kalau dekat Western countries, yes, it is really normal. But kita orang Asia, kita ada nilai-nilai timur,
Yeah, because we Asian.
We are like imbibe with our culture so much that it's
Is it
not
wrong?
normal.
Is it wrong
Yeah.
to abide to our culture?
It's not wrong actually.
But
Dalam
it's not wrong. I mean, the
dalam
cultures
Islam,
are telling you to
dalam
like
Islam,
some popular.
dalam Islam, next to religion comes culture. Kalau selagi the culture tak bercanggah dengan religion, dia tak memudaratkan siapa-siapa, then you should celebrate it. Yeah. So apa tu, kalau kita nak ikut culture, nilai-nilai murni, kita perlu pertahankan lah. You know.
Yeah. We have our own culture to fight also. Like.
But is the morality somewhat too based on what? Is it based on the people or is it based on?
If of course based on the people. It's.
Actually, Tang, I don't really like that view because people can change.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I think morality should be objective. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would base it on yang macam Tang kata, biologically it's wrong.
I mean like morality where do you base on
Okay, kalau nak cakap
moral principles?
moral principles, having sex bebas, like regardless of
Berzina, right? You mean?
itu
Okay.
itu sendiri saja, even straight sex boleh ruin rumah tangga, betul
Okay.
tak?
Yeah.
Okay. Now fikir pasal gay sex apa semua tu, it comes into play the same way. It will ruin rumah tangga. It will cause unrest not just between husband and wife, anak bapa, semua tu kita kena ambil kira. And with imagine someone being adopted into a family yang gay parents, okay? They are the dad and
Dad
That.
or
dad,
mom and mom.
daddier.
They refer to them as dad.
Okay,
that.
so
Oh, whatever. Okay.
so it's not healthy because everyone there should be brought up in a home where ada father figure and mother figure. Betul tak, Thirresh? A lot of people yang grow up with divorced parents, there ada some psychological issue,
Yeah, true.
daddy
Betul.
issues apa semua tu. Betul tak?
I get
So
it. Sebab
bila
diorang tak ada, there's no mother figure or father figure.
so when you have a daddy and a daddy, there's already something wrong there. You can foresee that the child will have some kind of psychological problems.
But so far they haven't find any problems. Like dekat US, so they have done a research about this. If I find the paper later, I'll send you. Ada, but they didn't find any psychological problems with them. It's just the only psychological problem with if it's adopted kid lah. They all did any adopted. I don't know about yang memang surrogacy punya family. If adopted, they only have like a psychological problem with their previous parents that left them. So they felt like they are not entitled, or wow, as I born, my parents didn't even accepted me. So who is the world going to accept me? So they will have that kind of problem. They don't have like a problem where there's no daddy figure, there's no mommy figure like that. Because it's totally normal. There is like a normal family. It doesn't make any difference. Because kids, the
I
kids
see.
already,
I see how they can not have a problem with it because they grew up with it.
yeah.
Yes.
Betul.
Okay. Apa tu, but takkanlah dia tak ada conflict between what the society thinks and what the family is doing. Okay, now let's not talk about surrogacy. Let's talk about someone yang dah married, okay, and dia find out, okay, air quotes, alah, why dia tak nampak?
Okay.
Find out
Okay.
that dia gay.
Okay.
Now that would create a lot of issues juga. It's practically the same as apa tu, someone cheating on dia punya wife and then dia punya relationship renggang, the whole family institution
It
crumbles.
just crumbles. Okay. Tapi what if like those who are like, for example, like gay, they just hide, they try to control themselves, then they end of the day they end up marrying a straight woman. Tapi then they start cheating on their partner.
Macam mana?
Like those who are gay, right? They are They are sexually attracted to.
Yang tu lagi lah teruk. You dah tahu you're not going to be providing anything for your future wife. You zalim sangat. You pergi ruin that girl's life.
Kind. So then you like ruin that one, right? So is that a better way?
It's
So
not
that is why
better
they
anyway. If anything, it's worse
Yeah,
because
it's worse,
you
right? That is why they all are
doing.
like, okay, that don't, as long we don't ruin anyone's life. That is why they are fighting for the rights to marry a guy.
Okay, if he says, okay, at the end of the day, we are not, I think, right, we are not disagree what they fight for, beside Ezran. For me, I'm not disagree what they fight for, I'm just
Tak, yang I cakap semua bebel tu because Thirresh tanya mana lies the
Mana,
morality.
where morality lies.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, morality kan, they're based on what? If it's based on people, what if people punya...
I tak nak base it on religion. That's why I kata dari segi how it affects people's lives.
But, okay, I understand. But so, why did I stop already? How?
You're asking why...
Wait.
I think that's the one. Why? You ask why, after that, lepas tu...
Yeah. I forget what I was saying. But, for me, Like,
Yeah, on your perspective, excluding Ezran, something that we said.
yeah. From including, hey, what did I say already just now? I forget what I said already. Okay, let's
So what
continue with
was it?
Thirresh. What Thirresh said just now? What Thirresh want to add
I
on?
was saying about what if the guy ruins the girl's life by not accepting who he is.
I think we talked
The,
about
at
this
the end of
before,
it,
right? I
he's
think I
his
think
wife
we
with
talked
another
about this
guy.
before, right, Ezran?
Okay.
You guys did?
It's better. It's
Okay.
better if they come out as gay, and
Ah,
and that's why the LGBTQ community exists for that kind of stuff
Actually,
that happen.
I rasa lebih baik
Uh-huh.
dia tak come out, like publicize it. Okay, because I don't like it when people are influenced by people coming out.
But
Okay,
Ezran,
so what they can do is just not marry anyone. Kalau dekat negara yang belum legalize gay marriage, okay, just don't marry anyone. You nak buat benda tu, buat diam-diam. Tak perlu publicize. Even if you cannot get married, okay.
Okay, this is where I kind of disagree with Ezra about, because
Why?
because they want to fight for their rights. Then I will respect that, but just I don't support the, what do you call it, the sex part only. If it's the love part, I don't really care. But if they open up and then they influence other people, that's where it's wrong. That's why you should draw a line where is the limit, right?
okay.
Yeah. Lagi
The
satu,
influence
I nak
part, like,
address.
okay, so you are just afraid that it might influence someone, right?
My influence who are straight, who are normal, completely normal.
For Norman, and they
influence.
might think it's the same. I get why your concept, because even in the psychology now we have like this main problem where everyone keep using, oh, I'm depressed. I think you all know, right? Because the kids are now, oh, I'm so depressed.
Yeah. I think
depressed.
this topic gonna talk about the next depression. I've been holding this for so long.
Yeah,
already.
I get why you guys
Yeah,
are like
yeah.
afraid of it could
Yeah.
influence actually a normal.
A
Memang diorang
normal-
ada.
a
It's
normal
normal.
person.
Even in medical this one, so we have something called placebo,
Ah.
where they just simply tell that it is a medicine, but it's actually not medicine. It's just to influence your psychological views. The only way to like escape from this influence is by they themselves know what is going on actually, and they have some kind of someone to monitor.
And
So,
those who are coming out also should be careful of what they say, so that other people can understand what they are trying to say, not just
Yeah.
coming out and then say everything that they want, and then other people getting the idea and then getting influenced and everything that happens. Like, it's just that they are not fighting for the rights already. It's like they are ruining other people's life. They're ruining other people's life. Like a completely normal person who they suddenly got this kind of stuff. I'm not saying LGBT is not okay. It's kind of not normal lah. For my opinion, it's not normal. And from a normal person become gay and everything, so yeah, it's not a bad thing to do so. But how to say, it can get confused lah. It can get confusing to other people. Like, oh, why am I? Who do I attracted to?
Okay, tadi Thirresh kata about conflict accepting themselves. Apa tu, so lebih baik kita bagi dorang marry dalam kalangan dorang kan. Kalau you nak kata pasal self acceptance, okay, kalau we go into their way of thinking that okay, diorang dalam minda diorang, they are diorang punya sexuality, dia a guy yang suka a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he needs to accept that. But the bodily functions yang dia diberi bukan untuk buat dengan lelaki.
Yes.
Betul kan? Dari segi biology, it was meant for
It's meant
reproduction.
Reproduction.
So by accepting what they think here, they are rejecting what is nyata, like tak boleh diubah. Okay, so if you really have a problem saying that we need to accept ourselves apa semua, you are actually not accepting yourself for who you how you were made. Because benda macam behaviour memang boleh ubah. Inclinations we can control. We were given self restraint. Tapi kita punya reproductive system kita tak boleh ubah. we can apa tu buat apa tu
Surgery.
surgery kan.
Mhm.
And it can work dari segi pleasure, but dari segi reproductive function, there's no such thing. You tak boleh dah lelaki jadi ada rahim, properly working rahim.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to talk about self acceptance, tengok dulu betul-betul diri tu apa yang you nak accept tu, mana yang a priority sebenarnya.
Yeah.
Kalau at the end of the day we're just going with feelings, tak ke mana lah hidup, sebab semua benda nak buat ikut suka hati.
Yeah.
Tak ada tanpa heart. I get what you mean. Like you can just do anything what you want just because you feel it,
Yeah,
right?
just because you feel like it, then you do it. Right? Like the world doesn't run like that. The world doesn't run like that.
I get the point of view.
You want
Kalau you tak ada religion pun, you must have some rules.
Yeah, you must have some rules.
That's why I ask like how your morality based on what principles the ikut amanah. Like some people like they just see religions they have stated like this, so they ikut macam tu. Some people like see what saints or like priests or like like hadith. I think hadith is the thing, right? What do you call the person who gives out the talk? I know it's not
What?
ustad. What is the other word for ustad?
Imam.
The one who gives out the
Imam.
talks. Imam.
Ulama.
Ulama.
Mungkin lah yang
That's the one.
mengeluarkan fatwa macam tu.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mufti.
Mufti. Some people equate like that, right?
Hmm.
So so some people have based on that. So how do we like generalize like a moral principle? Yang mana yang accurate? Because I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think moral principles should be relying on a people. That just because the people have said this, that it doesn't mean like it could be right. It could be right. It could be wrong. Depending on how you have seen the view and all of that.
Dari segi Islam lah,
Mhm.
when you want to decide to do something or not to do something, you act based on dalil. Dalil is simplified. It just means evidence, some kind of evidence.
Evidence.
Dalil dalam Islam ada dua jenis, yang diturunkan wahyu,
Okay.
dan hadis, and then lagi satu is common sense. Common sense ni not just dari segi you punya thought process, but also science, anything that can be proven scientifically.
You rationalize and
It comes as dalil juga. So a lot of ulama bila dia nak ambil keputusan like deciding apa tu nama dia, that not gluten, something that sounds like gluten. The
Gluten.
jelly
Gelatin.
gelatin halal ke tak. They don't
Ah.
just decide based on ayat Quran. They also take into account pandangan
Empirical
saintis,
evidence, right? Yeah.
saintis, chemist, semua ni. Okay, so bila kita nak tengok anything pun, we look at the science, we look at the divine revelation, and we try to make sense of both and ikut common sense.
Yeah.
Kalau nak cakap pasal LGBTQ, okay, all of this dari segi sains dia tak ada much basis pun other than pleasure, because and kalau dari segi perasaan you nak kata love tu, humans are conditioned. No matter who you are, you are what you are because of your past experiences. So if you can try to find environment yang lebih conducive to taking you back to the right track. So contoh, you're confused with you suka lelaki ke perempuan, then you dekatkan diri dengan people yang tak akan bawa you further into this confusion. Okay, you set yourself right balik. It's hard, but behavior can be conditioned.
Yeah, I do believe behavior can be conditioned, but I'm just not sure like is it actually a behavior that we can condition or not? That's the real question. Have you heard about conversion therapy? Have you heard about conversion therapy?
Conversion therapy, where the gay will be converted to straight again.
Yeah. So those days, Americans, they had this. Some of the psychologists, they thought they can actually do something about it. They tried to do it biological. They tried to put hit at one part of your brain, to cut some kind of like a part of your brain like that. So they tried that lobotomy or something like that. It didn't
Lobotomy.
work. So biologically it didn't work. So they all tried to do it psychological lah. So they had this thing called conversion therapy, where they will try to talk it out, see you are actually influenced or not, or if you are influenced, they will try to bring you back to being heterosexual, and they say like homosexual is just a temporary phase or something like people call nowadays phase. So in this conversion therapy is where they will try to convert you back, or in their terms, it was like making you from abnormal to a normal person. But the problem with that conversion therapy, it didn't work also.
Okay, it did not work tu. Kenapa? Apa
Why?
tu, the patient themselves,
Uh-huh.
dia rela ke? Dia betul-betul nak ke tak? Because
Betul-betul lah. After the therapy, they had like this qualitative. This one's a qualitative type, so they had to have interview like that. So they had the interview with the people who were before and they were after. Before they were really trying. They thought it was actual illness, so they thought it would actually work. But at the end of the day, they still had the same urges. In the conversion therapy, you know what? Oh my god, it becomes worse. You know when they actually try to have you masturbate to pictures of the opposite sex. They literally put for you a picture and they'll ask you to masturbate, and they will be watching you doing that. Like, damn weird, right? I don't know lah. People those days.
okay, apa tu, probably ada some underlying past experience yang membuatkan some kind of mental block. Like dalam drama Melayu, okay? Kalau lelaki tu, kalau lelaki tu dia gay or jadi transgender, is because dia ada some traumatic experience with the mother or some female figure in his life masa kecil. So in these studies yang you tengah cite ni, diorang address tak those problems? Tengok, try to tackle it dari not dari the symptoms,
Yeah, I
tapi
get it. You have to know the past experience that what has been gone through. Could it be a traumatic event?
ya, apa tu,
Yeah.
disregarding the apa tu, sexual problems. Just nak bagi dia reconcile dulu dengan dia punya past, and then work on the sexual part.
Much there's like talk therapy lah. It didn't work as well. If it worked means they wouldn't have taken out from the DSM-5. So that is where like it underlies the problem. So I don't know what is the actual cause of the like that. But there's also like in TikTok lah, there are one of the song called gay science. They say it could be because of like there's in the DNA there's like something called a gay gene. I don't know what is that.
Gay
I never.
gene?
Yeah,
Okay, we still don't know the real cause.
GIGIN, is it?
gene in our DNA. GENE.
Gene. Oh.
Gene in our DNA. So that like there's an additional like I'm not sure how because I'm not a geneticist.
Okay, so for now we don't know what's the cause of people being gay.
I don't know what's the cause.
So for now we just accept for who they are lah.
What was that?
But before this can I be honest, before this I also think that it is wrong to do so because it's against the religion, it's against the biology, it against a lot of stuff. And I don't think that it's right to do so, and I think that it's mental illness. But for now, for my opinion for now I just then I slowly accept them because of what? Because of the environment I started to accept them. I mean like okay, they didn't do wrong also, they as long as they didn't harm other people, they didn't harm the community, I don't think that it's wrong to support them, to respect, and it is a must to respect them because they are human also, and to support them to do they want to do what they want to do, it is okay, but just don't go overboard. And then some of the LGBT community, some lah, not all, some just come out and say all this kind of stuff, and then they influence other people also.
Yeah,
That's where the problem starts. For me that's the problem lah there. For me that's the problem.
I think apa tu yang contoh Thirresh bagi tu, it's a minority now because a lot of people are being gay because it's a trend. Yeah, so
I get like some people really can be influenced.
I don't deny that study probably shows ada some instances where there's apa tu, kita tak boleh tahu macam mana nak cure because we don't seem to know the problem. Tapi a lot of instances sekarang we can know it is spreading because of popularity saja.
Yeah.
So di situ it becomes really wrong, and I'm totally against making it popular and normalized.
So for me, I still don't know yet where I stand because I still support them, I still respect them, I don't discriminate them. But deep down, I still against them. Like gay sex is wrong for me. It is wrong. Like in biology terms, it is wrong. I said it a million times already. Other people can bash me and say, no, it's love, it's all that. Okay, I respect your love. But for what I have learned, for what I have known as an ex-bio student, it is wrong.
I think the emphasis on X discredits any opinion you have. From the way you said X.
But still, I've learned all this kind of stuff, and it can cause problem to yourself and to the partners also. So I don't know where it lies. I don't know what's wrong, what's right for those community. They want to fight for their right to speak, right to be treated as equal as other people. That one I understand. For the sex part, I still don't understand yet. I think it's 4:20 already. We can conclude already, right?
Wait, I have to do my conclusion.
Okay, your conclusion. Okay, give your conclusion.
So I'll still stick to my stance where I think it's totally normal. It's just like something that we don't understand doesn't mean it's actually wrong, right?
No.
It's like we haven't find the true understanding of it. So why you want to like just be open about it lah? Like you still have conversations with your friends and stuff like that. So it's best to have conversations like this. Like I still have conversations with you and guys like with Ezran. Even though his opinion is different, my opinion is different.
Yeah,
with yours, Tang is different.
Yeah.
We still have conversation. I just want to see like how the view overall.
Yeah.
So from there we can see what people actually think, and we can understand someone even better when we know how they are and how they feel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel it's totally normal, even though like there are some confusing things like why is it even happening, or how is it?
It is very confusing for me right now.
It is very confusing.
I still don't know. I still don't know. Like, is this right or is this wrong? Should I stand for this or should I not stand for it? But
that's why you don't go and
the empathy part of me saying that we should support them. I should support them for what they want. They are standing for this. For my other part of me is like, this is wrong. Like, you shouldn't do this. It can cause problems.
You can actually be in between.
So I'm standing in this middle part where I don't know what is wrong, what is right yet.
You stand in the middle part. No one's gonna like.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really care if people kecam me also, because it's my opinion at the end of the day. I'm not asking other people to get influenced. I'm not influencing any other people outside there, or asking other people to follow my opinion. I don't care also. So yeah, I think Ezran, do you have anything to say?
Apa-apa pun kita buat, make sure it's an informed decision. Make sure dia tak membahayakan anyone. Okay. And kalau it's a bad thing, kita semua buat dosa, janganlah spread dosa tu. The even if you tak believe in agama, there are bad things. So jangan be too quick to be proud of it. Okay.
So
and like I nak tegaskan, I tak fight for penindasan golongan ini. I just don't want them to be popular sampai everybody nak jadi ikutan. Kalau you nak fight for rights bekerja, okay, nak guna some public space apa semua, itu okay. Yang issue toilet tu I tak berani cakap, because macam mana pun you look at it, there's going to be some problem, right?
It's going to be some problem lah.
Life is all about problems anyway. So everything there's a problem for everything. It's just that there is solution. It's just that it could be delayed or it could be coming soon. Who knows when it's going to end? So as long as it's a consensual thing lah, like don't go and like rape someone just because you like the guy, like.
Just because the guy is transgender and look like a girl, got boobs, you go and rape them. No.
Okay.
That one you really have a problem. There is actually a disorder, hypersexuality. The one we saw in the video, the Kelantan to, my God.
Yeah.
The guy, the one.
Okay. I agree pasal yang jangan pergi rape tu, but actually kalau tak rape like slowly influence pun masalah. You know, even with straight people, they would use pil perangsang apa semua tu. Apa tu, it's not outright rape, tapi kalau you influence someone, let's say a straight guy, dia bagi such pill to another straight guy, you know, bagi dia lalai ke apa semua, and then they just start to introduce this apa tu, sexual activity, and the guy of course apa tu, even if dia tak ada any inclination towards the other sex, kalau dia rasa and dia rasa sedap, dia nak lagi.
Betul tak? Addiction lah. Dah tu addiction tu lain macam down story.
Because that's the reason that they do it in the butt, because somehow I pun tak tahu macam mana, something to do with apa nama, prostate kan. Apa tu,
the G-spot on the ass anus. The G-spot.
Yeah, there's something like that. Apa tu, it's not really in the anus, tapi bila you tekan dari anus, dia adalah some sensation. Okay. So kalau you boleh influence someone macam tu, apa tu, dia dah jadi bahaya. Even if after that dia orang tu rela nak buat lagi, because dia takkan buat because dia memang apa tu secara natural ada inclination towards the opposite sex, but because dia rasa sedap.
Yeah, itulah, that's the one I'm talking about, like the sex addiction. That one really you have a problem. That one we have treatment. That one you can actually.
That one other part of video again. Okay, today is about gender pronouns.
Pronouns. Today
aku semua pakai rapat lah.
Yeah. Everything is
like even Azizul also agree. He told what, jangan don't get confused. Just put names instead of the pronouns. Kalau if you lupa.
Yeah.
Azizul or one friend, I'm not sure who.
No, it's your friend.
Friend, right?
Ahmad.
Seriously, like even when we are talking in a speech or anything, can't obviously will gagap or lupa nak cakap, will misspell some words. Right? It's totally normal. It's a human mistake. We are not robots, except for Ezran. He told he's a machine.
He said it's a machine.
I'm a rocket.
I think you fight for the pronoun. I want everybody call me Rocket.
Yeah, don't call me he, she, they. Okay? Call me it, because I'm a machine.
Eat.
Okay. I think we are taking it too far. Disclaimer: everything that we said in this video is not based on research. It's based on our own opinion and experience.
Everyone is entitled for own opinion according to sexual something.
We all
human rights.
All of us.
But still, apa tu, I advise penonton di luar sana, okay, be passionate enough to have this podcast as apa tu, a catalyst for you to do research.
Yes. To do more
and
research
I'm
about
still my research. So
even if we are not rajin enough to do it beforehand.
Yeah. We are not okay. We are not rajin enough because we don't really care about this topic. But it is like it's kind of blooming, so we kind of talk about it a little bit here. Not a little bit for 2 hours already. 2.5 hours.
I have to research lah. I really have a topic under gender.
Because he's a psychologist. He's a future psychologist, so he should know about this. I think that is it for now, everyone. Those who again, all of us.
Yeah, shout out to the one who masuk.
Shout out to everyone who joined us just now.
Azizul, thank you Azizul.
Thank you Aiman, thank you Vicky.
Yeah. Vicky also came. I didn't expect.
Vicky.
Yeah.
Vicky say hi.
Vicky penonton setia Teng dah.
Yeah, all for life with Teng.
then got Audi Nabil. He said hi Rash. I literally neglected the comments just now.
Wow, very good.
I think Teng, you need to have more engagement with your viewers lah.
The problem is we are in heat of discussing the topic just now. The fella say hi, I cannot do anything. If suddenly a rap it's like distracting my interview with you already. So the comments
Okay.
later.
We're too good looking that you got distracted at time. Wow.
Toxic positivity.
Not even, it's still positivity. Where is the toxicity?
Okay. I think before we drag this too long, that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Thank you,
Thanks for
thank you,
inviting
Thirresh
us.
and Ezran for coming to the podcast. And
Yes, Ezra, thank you.
thank you, Thirresh, for sharing, and thank you, Ezran, for sharing the opinion. This is the second episode already. He come here. Maybe the third episode he will come also. Let's see what.
Azizu say you wanted to come?
Azizu?
Yeah, ajak lah Azizul.
Azizul, empat
Ajak
orang
some,
lah.
some other people.
Can. Thirresh, maybe the next podcast you can join us if you are free. See
Aku
first
tengok
lah.
lah.
Apa?
Dah nak start sekolah dah.
Ada set sekolah dah. No more ajak-ajak lagi.
Kalau you boleh bagi makan Mary, I datang setiap kali.
Walau.
If I give money.
Oh.
It depends how much lah.
Appearance fee.
Mas the son Roger the PA assistance.
PA system. I'm the PA system. I'm the everything.
Oh my god. All in one ah.
No one lah. Hey, you think what? This is. I'm not.
I thought you asked your brothers how to help.
Hey, no lah. All of this I said it myself. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you those
Thank you
those
for
who
having
joined
us.
me.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Okay, bye.
Nak main CSGO tak?
Oh, CSGO. Let's go. after bathroom. Okay. Bye.
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 Done. Okay.